So very good evening to all of you. As I mentioned, this is a monthly course demo webinar, which we host towards the end of every month or the third week of every month. Myself and my colleague Mubin will be the host of this particular webinar. So what is the goal of this webinar, right? Two things, right? So one is to give you an awareness and the information and the guidance about how you can get started yourself with a career in the core. So when we say core, core applies to every branch that you can think of: core civil, core mechanical, core electrical, core electronics, right? So when we say core, we talk about core embedded systems and even to some extent the IoT industry, right? How do you get started? So anything that involves a piece of electronics where the smart software is enabling today, you can see, right? Pretty much everything is enabled by electronics, right? So how do you go about building a career, right? Is it lucrative enough? Is it long term? Do you see a potential? So good amount of information we'll be talking about that. And the second part which we'll be talking about is about our course, right? We as a company, we run this embedded systems course, and good amount of you might have already spoken to our counselors, and some of them I'm seeing like some of you already taken admissions for our placement oriented course, right? This particular webinar is also give you information about how our course works, right? So in both the cases, we will be interacting with you because pretty much the slide deck remains the same except few updates. So for us, me and Mubin, making it interactive, ensuring that you are given the right set of information and clarity is the overall goal. Okay. So by the end of this particular webinar, what will be your takeaways? Again, two things. One, you'll get a clear-cut idea about where is the job market heading, especially when it comes to the core embedded systems and IoT industry. Where are the jobs coming from? And should I be worried about recession or not? What type of skill set they're hiring for? What type of salary levels that they're paying to fresh engineers and also some of the lateral level engineers, right? So we'll go through all these aspects, right? Then, second takeaway is about the details about the course. Again, our courses are delivered in two modes, online as well as offline. So we'll get to know about details about that as well. Okay. And this course, let me be very blunt in the beginning itself. This course is not to give you or any type of a push or some kind of a so-called sales pitch to push you to the towards and saying that, hey, come and join Emertxe course. No, that's not the idea at all. We never do that. Our idea is to give you the necessary information, and we strongly believe that you are the ultimate decision maker, right? What is our goal of me and Mubin is to give you the right sort of information and let you decide what you want to do in the career, right? Especially when you're considering this as a career aspiration, right? The very fact that you are taken in time to register for the webinar and showing up itself says you are an aspiring in this particular domain. But who is the decision maker? It's not me. It's not your friends, or it's not your family. It's you, right? So by the end of the webinar, our goal is to ensure that to give you the necessary information. So whatever decision you may take, you may decide to join our course, or you may decide to be in the embedded systems industry, or you decide that I will go and do altogether different something else, right? Absolutely fine. Okay? But the idea is to give you the necessary clarity. Okay. One very important thing is to keep this session very interactive. That's why I'll be time to time asking you a lot of questions. You can type it in the chat window. And this is a go-to webinar, where you will not be able to see each other's messages, but all the messages are reaching me. So any question that comes, I will also pause by and take questions, Mubin and myself, and to answer all your questions. But you don't need to wait. Okay? Anytime you see that something runs in your head, just emit out. And we will not see whether some question is a big question, small question, important question, unimportant question. There's nothing like that, right? Every question is an important question. It is important from your side to basically ensure that you get it clarified by talking to us. Okay, so that's the overall goal. That's the overall protocol that we follow every month, and that's been working very effectively. And after this webinar is done, this session is getting recorded. We will post it in YouTube. You can even go and see in our YouTube channel. All the monthly webinars are there. In a similar way, you can see this video also, and we'll also circulating this recorded session to you. And it's pretty much open link. And if you feel that it will be helpful to your friends or somebody, feel free to forward. Okay, there's nothing proprietary, nothing secret that we're going to talk. Okay, so that's a outline of this particular webinar. So now let us move on to the subsequent slides. Okay. So before I get on, it's important to introduce ourselves, right? Many of you know, or some of you don't know about Emertxe, our organization. Again, first challenge itself is to pronounce our company's name, right? People pronounce as Emertxe, right? The right way to pronounce is Emertxe, or easy way to remember is take the word extreme and then reverse it, you will get Emertxe, right? So we are an Ed-Tech company. We have been in this education field for almost 20 years now. We are a long-term player, and we have been aspiring to solve two major challenges that we face. So what are the challenges? The challenge number one is basically to make engineers employable by giving them the hands-on skills. Okay, because as you know, India has become a country of engineers. Every year, a few lakhs of graduates are coming out of engineering college, and very few of them are having the employability skills. Right? That too, if you take a domain like embedded systems and IoT, which is relatively higher complexity in nature, right? And also, if you talk about even education companies which are offering embedded systems courses, right? More than me, you guys will know, right? You can very well count the number of institutes or companies are offering this type of courses, right? So our goal is to give you hands-on exposure in either in the domain of embedded systems or IoT for a month of 6 months and make you employable with core companies, right? Core embedded electronics, IoT related companies, right? Similarly, we also offer a full stack web development program, which is again an online program, 6 months course, where we target new age web development companies, right? Again, web development has gone through a lot of changes. So we don't target legacy companies, we target new generation or the upcoming generation companies where these folks who are doing our full stack web development program, which is mainly based on the MERN stack, they'll be targeting that, right? But today's focus is going to be on the embedded systems course, and a little bit here and there I'll touch upon IoT wherever it is required. And the target audience are pretty much who are in their final year, right? People who are in the 7th semester or 8th semester. That's why I asked you the question, which year of passed you are from. I could see good number of you are saying 2024, which means say just entering into the final year, right? So they can do that. Because by the time they finish their engineering, they'll be ready with the skill set what we are going to impart, and they get definitely a great get ahead in the job market. By the time their batchmates come out without job, then decide what to do, etc., etc. So one set of people are college graduates, engineering graduates. Then the second set, the largest set of them are people who have finished their engineering and looking out for the job, okay, who are first job, right? And then they primarily want to get into this type of core industry. That's the second segment of people. Third segment of people are working professional, right? For example, people who got the job, but they're not happy with the job profile. For example, somebody would have studied electrical engineering, but they ended up doing let us say, a teaching job or a marketing job or in an IT job, right? They're not okay, whatever I studied, wherever my interests are, but what I'm doing, it is not matching. So for these folks, the important thing is to skill them without them quitting their job. So that way we offer these programs in the evening mode also, and then skill them up and then give them a totally new, what you call, dimension to their resume or profile, and help them to achieve what we call career transition. They're not the one, they don't have a job, they already have a job, but what they do, they move from one particular job to another particular job, which we call as a career transition story, right? So that's the type of target audience, and that's the type of courses that we do. And all the courses that we offer are minimum 6 months in duration. They're pretty much hands-on. We maintain 70-30 ratio, where we believe strongly that the best way to learn is to make your hands dirty. Or the image you can see the pot making hand, right? You can only make a pot when you make your hands dirty. And that's the approach we take to ensure that you really get hands-on and pick up the necessary skills and target these organizations. Okay, so that's what we do as a company. Okay. So moving on about our leadership team. So 3 of us are part of Emertxe's leadership team. Mr. Mas is the founder and the managing director of the company. He started Emertxe in the year 2003, and he's been mainly looking into the business side of the organization, running organization, right? And myself, as I said, my name is Jay Kumar. I have more than 20 years of work experience. I graduated from NIT Warangal way back in the year 2001 in the B.Tech computer science stream. And then I started my career with 3 different companies. Started with a startup called Ishoni Networks, worked on broadband gateways, primarily the networking side. And then I moved on to HP Hewlett Packard for about 7.5 years, where I worked on printer connectivity firmware or embedded software, various interfaces like Bluetooth, USB, Wi-Fi, and wired, various layers like device driver, middleware, application, etc. So where by the end of the 7.5 years with HP, I was a project and a program manager for HP's one of the key initiative called Cloud Print, where we wanted to connect the printer directly to the cloud. Anyways, nowadays everything is connected to cloud, right? So those were I would say around 10-12 years back. was the first set of initiatives taken to connect everything into the cloud. Okay. So that was the last assignment I held with HP. Then I moved on to Huawei Technologies. As you all know, Huawei is a Chinese telecommunication company who makes a lot of telecommunication equipments. And later they also pivoted themselves into mobile phone and a wearable company. They make, I think, Honor brand phones, mobile phones, and a lot of wearable devices like, smartwatches, etc. But when I joined, Huawei was more of a telecommunication networking company where an initiative was going on where they want to unify all the products into Linux. Okay, so Linux is basically, a versatile operating system, especially in the field of embedded systems, due to many reasons. We'll talk about it probably in some of the later slides. So where I joined as a senior manager, heading the group of about 60 engineers working on customizing Linux for various Huawei's product lines. So that was my last assignment with corporate. But after that, I was really passionate about education and entrepreneurship. I wanted to do something on my own. At the same time, I wanted to come do in the field of education, because I strongly believe education is one particular denomination, right? One particular factor which can bring transformational changes for individual as well as to a larger extent as a technical community and as a country, right? So I thought education one big power we can take, and I come from a family of educators, teachers, like my father, my father's side, mother's side, filled with teachers. So I come from that background. So I thought I combine my passion with where I come from. So I joined Emertxe as a full-time leadership team member in the year 2014. It's my 10th year in Emertxe, and primarily look after the placement functionality in Emertxe, working with clients, working with students. We have placement team. And also I lead this, all the outbound activities, webinars. That's why somebody asked, do you run Disha workshop? I don't know which Disha workshop we talked about. I run various workshops, internship programs, campus ambassador programs, webinars, all the outbound programs I lead as a part of Emertxe. So that's a brief about me. And as I already said, every month we run this webinar. And the only motivation for me, or the great motivation for me, is to answer your questions. Okay? Because for us, the slides remain the same, content here and there a little bit changes, but you guys make it interactive, right? Every batch of students make it interactive. I seriously hope today also we'll get a lot of interesting questions. Some of you will ask really tough questions. We really enjoy answering that, and that's what makes us motivated and come and show up in front of you every month. Okay, so that's a brief about the webinar, what we are going to do, and a brief about Emertxe, and a brief about myself. And now I would request Mubin to introduce himself. Mubin, are you there? Can you please come onto the camera and introduce yourself to the audience? Yeah, Mubin is here.
Thanks, Ajay, and good evening all. My name is Mubin, and I work as a technology head at Emertxe. So once again, welcome to this webinar, wherein we will be briefing you about the embedded systems related course we are offering for different audiences, including students and working professionals. So a brief about me. I'm a computer science graduate. I'm having around 20 years of work experience. I passed out in the year of 2003 from AITM in Bhatkal, Karnataka. And after that, I worked at Emertxe initially as a software engineer. So I got an opportunity to join Emertxe as a fresher, and I worked here for closer to 2 years, primarily working on projects involving embedded systems, Bluetooth, device drivers, etc. And from there, I moved to 2 other companies, including No.1 and HP. So in No.1, I got opportunity to work on open source technologies and got opportunity to work as a developer to contribute to some projects which No.1 was working on. And from there, I moved to HP, wherein I worked in HP for more than 4 years, and I also got opportunity to meet Jay Kumar then. So prior to that, we also knew each other, but very briefly. So in HP, I worked in 2 different teams. I worked as a developer in a team which used to develop a product for document workflow management. And after that, I got an opportunity to work as a lead developer to develop HP print, scan, fax device drivers. And I quit HP to join Emertxe as a full-time entrepreneur. So currently, I work as a technology head. It's been 13 years since I joined back Emertxe. So as of now, I lead a team of technical mentors who are responsible for delivering trainings in various technologies, including embedded systems, IoT and full stack web applications. So I'll be there. Once you join the course, I'll be involved with the technical team and also oversee things with respect to placements to ensure that our students are getting the required training as we promise, and as well as they're able to crack the interviews and help them achieve their goal of getting a core job in the industry. So in this webinar, primarily we will be focusing on how the training is delivered, what all things you're going to learn, and how it's going to benefit you on the long run. And we'll also walk you through a demo session of how the online classes are delivered. And in terms of learning experience, what are the resources you're going to get at a high level, we'll share it with you. If any questions related to the training which you are going to avail, you can feel free to ask. So I would hand over to Jay. You can start with the.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Mubin. As you know, just to give an idea, this webinar is given to 3 sections. The first section, we'll talk about job market, some trends, and where is the jobs are heading. So I will take the session. Then second session, Mubin will take over. As he mentioned, he will walk you through the technical aspects of the course, because especially for online students, there'll be a lot of queries. How the course is going to get delivered, how interactive the classes will be in the online space. And embedded systems means it involves hardware, right? How do we get exposure to the hardware, and how do we seek doubts, etc. So primarily Mubin will cover those aspects. And after that, third section, I'll again take over and talk again about placements, more from a process point of view, how to apply, when to apply, and and what is the approach that we take in shortlisting, selection. And also we'll briefly touch about certification as well, because we are one of the affiliated training institute with Skill India. Skill India, some of you know, it's a government of India's skill development initiative to skill the youth of this country. And we are affiliated with the Electronic Sector Skill Council of India, or ESSCI. Our course, this embedded systems course, is affiliated with them, which means to say, when after you completing this particular course, you get an opportunity to apply for certification with Government of India, Skill India, basically organization. And then upon you clearing the certification, you'll get that particular certificate as well, apart from the Emertxe certification what we give. Okay. So I'll cover up those aspects as a part of my section, the third section. So let me start with the first section. I think before I start, there are, as you all know, over the past 20 years, the strength, or the key strength that we have been operating is with the kind of placement companies which are hiring our students, right? For example, we have companies across the embedded spectrum. Embedded is a very broad area where we have various verticals like automotive, electric vehicle these days, right? Robotics, telecommunication, consumer electronics, semiconductor, and then aeronautics, medical, right? Tons of verticals are there. We have companies from all these segments coming in hiring. You can pretty much see all the logos in this particular slide, and they are maybe slightly old. You can refer to our social media, where we constantly keep ourselves publishing with what's happening with respect to the core companies, right? So these companies, again, they come from all these verticals, and then they also can be divided to 3 buckets. So we have bigger logos, for example, Qualcomm, NXP, then we have Microchip, HP, Ether Energy. So these type of companies are more of a MNCs. Anyways, I think Ether comes in the startup space, right? So they hire our students. And we also have India-based bigger companies, for example, L&T and multiple Tata organizations like Tata Elxsi, Tata Advanced Systems, right? So those organizations hire our students. And we have a lot of mid-sized organizations who are in this, in about 100 to 200 or 300 type of manpower they hire. A lot of startups these days, especially in the areas like electric vehicles, they hire our students, right? So this is a snapshot of what we have. We have over 1,200 companies which are hiring our students, right? So this is a snapshot of that. And as I said, this is like little older slide, but you can refer to our social media to get the latest update, or our website to get the latest update. Right? So that's a brief about us, right? Now, as I said, let us try to understand what is happening in the job market. Ever since the year 2023 started, right? There is a lot of news going on about recession, and we also hear a lot of companies are laying off people, and and continue to the rumors are going to, not only rumors, even the reality is hitting in. A good number of people have already lost their jobs. And even if you look at Indian service companies, right, where they made offer to the campus graduates, but they're not able to commit on the joining dates, right? They have come and hired them at the beginning of the third year, but they're not able to give them a date, saying, hey, so and so date you come and join. Is anybody in the webinar today who have got the offer letter but not got the joining date? Don't worry, I'll not read your name. Is there anybody belong to that category? Because these days we see a lot. Okay, yeah, we have Charan, and we have Vishnuvardhan, and then we have Srujan, Saran, like good number of them, right? Okay, so because of the recession, right? True. So this also basically, raises a question saying that how do I work through the recession, and is the core sector is recession proof, etc., etc. Right? So let us try to spend some time on that. So we have been working with, as I said, more than 1,200 companies for so many years, right? So in the recent time, right, we started seeing this particular segment, is becoming very attractive. So when I say attractive, what do you mean, right? There are multiple things that is happening. One is, everything that you can think of today, it is getting electronics enabled. Okay, I think let me move to the next slide and explain. That will be, talk about it, right? Every device that you can think of, be it a watch, be it a water bottle, be it a wearable, any type of wearable, home automation, and then smart cities, agriculture, education, you name anything, everywhere there is some or the other devices are present. And as long as there is a device and that device is having a piece of electronics in it, a piece of sensor in it, you need a software to drive it. Okay, so that way, all of a sudden, if you see, this particular segment is getting very, very attractive. Okay, point number one. And there are multiple new age phenomena also driving that, because I'm seeing already a question from Sashi Kumar about the impact of chat GPT in embedded systems career. I'll talk about it, Sashi. I have some points around that in the subsequent bullets. Wait for it, right? Okay. Second phenomena to look for in the recent past is, due to many reasons, many geopolitical reasons, the pandemic happened, and after that, people started having their own opinion about China, etc. And overall, looking into the political stability that India has as of today, and also the vibrant democratic system that we have, and then a lot of young and energetic workforce that we have available in India today, and they're all hungry to learn and grow, right? So because of all these reasons, India has become a technology hub for all the technologies for that matter, and it is also becoming popular, semiconductor hub, which means to say that it is not only that they're going to get the embedded software developed in India, they're also getting into manufacturing of chipsets, boards. The entire product is getting designed, manufactured, and supplied in India. And also, even if you look at companies like Apple, they continue to invest in India, they continue to open showrooms, etc. Right? So India is becoming a semiconductor hub, and electronics is one of the hottest area where we are seeing a great amount of opportunity for India, right? So this is another trend that we are seeing. Okay. Now, if you look at this thing, right, at a high level, what do we mean, right? What it means to people like you, right? As I said, we work with Skill India, and Skill India under the Electronics Skill Sector Council of India, the ESSI, which I mentioned a few minutes back. Apart from the certification, skilling programs and all, they also publish a lot of market study reports. Okay, one of the recent market study reports which came out in the month of May, first week of May. So if you see, right, it is emitting out these numbers. Okay, so what are these numbers? Let us take a look into it, right? One is, as of last year, there were about 1.39 lakhs jobs for these embedded systems or this type of electronics oriented core jobs, which is going to almost triple by another 3 to 4 years. Okay, so it's going to become 3x, right? And it's good news, but the challenging part is skilling yourself in this skill set is not easy. Or I would ask very simple questions to all the participants in every webinar, right? Just look at the number of Java training institutes that we have, right? I asked you which place you are from, right? If you think of any place, right? If you talk about Java, .NET, HTML, CSS, not that I'm discounting the technology as such, I'm telling you these technologies can be learned or can be taught by many people. That's why you see, right? There will be a number of training institutions or Ed-Tech companies offering those programs, right? But if you look at areas like, for example, embedded systems, IoT, or even for that matter, VLSI design, you will not see many institutions who are having this particular capability. Okay. The reason being the technology itself is more complex. See, one end I'm talking about opportunity, another end I'm talking about the challenge that you as an entry-level engineer face in order to upskill yourself, right? That's an update for you, point number one, right? And among those, 3+ lakhs jobs, right, 55% of the jobs are going to be in the design. So when I say design, the entire product design, right, from taping out the chip, coming up with a board, having all those peripherals mounted in it, and then and then that's only part of the story, right? I would say your hardware is like a body and the software is like an oxygen, right? The body is of no use if there is no oxygen, right? So that's where the intelligent piece of software that comes into picture, which we call as an embedded software or middleware, which is going to give the life to this particular hardware, which means to say roughly, we have about 1.5 to 2 lakh jobs coming into the market, and these cannot be fulfilled by any company. For example, if you talk about service companies, IT companies, the IT company and the skill set of this IT companies, if you look at, right, why do they go and hire a few hundreds or few thousands of engineers in multiple campuses, right? Again, I have all the respect for these organizations, right? But the IT skills are something which can be trained easily, right? That's why they go and hire so many people, train them and make them ready. Okay? But an area like embedded systems is actually, it's hard to train, hard to learn. That's also a great thing to have a career in, because it is not easy for anybody to enter. Okay? That's why people ask me, right, why I am putting this data is because today we are sitting comfortably in the month of May, saying that every month we have 100+ companies coming and recruiting our students in Emertxe. I'll speak about it in the subsequent slides, right? So even though we say it's a recession, yes, there have been some hiring freezes that is happening, but broadly this particular job segment is growing significantly. Okay, so there is absolutely a huge demand, and this is the latest number which I talk about, and these numbers are all high-end jobs. For example, if you are working here for, let us say, 5 years, 7 years type of a duration, and you compare your salary with the service company or any other profession, right, you'll be at a far higher in terms of what is the salary level that you're going to draw, because we have pretty good insights about those numbers, right? It's a tremendous opportunity for engineers to build a long-term career in these domains. Okay, that's what we talk about. And specifically, somebody spoke about these segments. When we say, I would like to point out 3 areas. One is a segment of electric vehicles, right? When you say electric vehicles, a country like India has got opportunity to not only to follow, it has got an opportunity to lead, especially in the two-wheeler segment, right? You can see already, just I don't know the city that you are in, town you are in, at least in Bangalore, if you just walk around, in your nearby places, you'll see the number of adaptability is happening for electric vehicles, right? People are, getting electric vehicles, and I live in an apartment complex where increasingly we are getting requests to install a charging station in the basement area so that people can charge their two-wheelers, etc. Right? So if you look at today electric vehicle, it is all about embedded systems, right? There's a piece of electronics. There's no mechanical component or very less mechanical component in it, right? The entire thing is driven by battery and a good set of electronics. So, and that cannot be done without a piece of software in it. So that is driving a lot of jobs. And as I already said, both traditional organizations, if you look at in India, especially in the two-wheeler segment, we have organizations like Bajaj, TVS Motors, Hero, Mahindra. They're all adapting to EVs. In fact, Mahindra has created a new entity called Mahindra Electric, which has been recruiting our students on a regular basis, right? And not only that, we have new age organizations, companies like, for example, Ola Electric, right? And then we have Ether Energy, who are already releasing them product into the market, right? Who are also hiring. Okay, and this segment is becoming really hot, which is having a tremendous potential for countries like India. Because if you look at the four-wheeler, revolution has happened few decades back. It was primarily driven by Americans, and later it was driven by Japanese, right? So electric vehicle, especially the two-wheeler segment, even though the four-wheeler segment is already dominated by company like Tesla Motors, right? Here we have really great opportunity for India to innovate and lead in the areas like electric vehicles, because we know the art and science of manufacturing a two-wheeler that to run in all these Indian road conditions, right? And topping up with the embedded systems and these type of electronic skill set, these organizations are really aspiring to go global, right? So it's a great segment that is opening up for all of you to have a great career in it. Point number 1. In the similar lines, we talk about IoT. Okay, tell me where IoT is not there, right? Right from your room where you are sitting, right? Smart home or smart city, anywhere that there is the word smart is used. So IoT is one vertical where it is getting electronics enabled and connectivity enabled, and thanks to other ecosystem growth like 5G, right, where we are talking about huge amount of job that is coming driven by IoT. There is no domain that which IoT is not touching. You talk about manufacturing, right? Talk about agriculture, right? IoT is touching the agriculture domain. Somebody is talking about automation, right? Saran is saying, right? So I would say IoT has taken the automation to altogether a different level, right? So that is driving a lot of jobs. And the third trend that we are seeing is about artificial intelligence. There's already a question from Sashi Kumar. I said I'll answer after a few minutes, right? So if you talk about artificial intelligence as such, right? If you look at, they are driven by data, right? Basically, they'll have a machine learning model, and that particular model will that will predict or and say how this is going to be, right? So when you talk about data, one of the key sources where the data is going to get generated is about sensors. For example, if I'm having a machine and I wanted to basically predict when the machine will go down or which parts may go down, right? Or I wanted to monitor a particular machine, for example, right? So it's all about sensors, right? So as long as anything is having sensor enabled, right, definitely that is going to gather a lot of data, and before they run an AI algorithm on top of it, right? So this is going to definitely generate a lot of data, so that AI model can be, or ML model can be run on top of it. Okay, so I would say whatever the output is generated by an embedded system is consumed by an AI model to generate the output. So that is where the AI is getting connected with embedded systems. And not only that, it's not only about pure data. We also talk about images, right? We also talk what you call computer vision, everything that you can think of. I think yesterday, today, Adobe has released a new version with an AI enabled. So every image processing aspect, whether it is a software like static software like Adobe, Photoshop, any other software, or let us say think about you need to process a lot of image based thing, right? I don't know whether you see small features like Google Photos, right? When you just go ahead and saying that I want to sort my photos, right? It just shows the faces, right? And then I click my face, it probably or rather if you go and type click my daughter's face, it just shows for the past 10 plus years, ever since he was a small child, right? It does all the facial recognition. It's all about image processing, right? And but in order to do all these things, you require data, and that data is primarily generated by these embedded systems, or what you call edge computing devices, where your embedded systems are going to play a major role. So that way, I don't see AI and embedded systems are becoming competing each other. I would say they coexist. Whatever is output of embedded system is consumed by a AI algorithm. That is how I would say. I will not say that because AI is coming, it's going to throw away embedded systems off. I'm not looking at like that. Okay, hope that answers your question, Sashi Kumar, right? And so definitely these are all the verticals that you should watch out for. And apart from that, definitely our traditional automotive, okay, is definitely growing. The features like automated driver assistance system, existing gasoline engines, they try to make more electronics enabled. I think Mahindra XUV is a model. If I think it's an X7 model, we're going to wait for minimum 18 months to get it delivered, because it has got the assembling is and then getting the parts is so hard, because it's more of electronics than only a mechanical process, right? So even your traditional automotive is getting electronics enabled. Areas like robotics and areas like industrial automation is also growing at a very healthy pace, which you also called as a industry 4.0 as a part of IoT, etc., etc. So it is all around us. It's no longer a fuzz or some kind of they're living in a what do you call artificial world. No, they're very much touching our lives, and it's going to touch more our lives as we move forward, which is going to generate these type of jobs. This is one important trend that we see based on the recent market document released by ESSCA. Okay, point number one. Second part, I also want to extend this and then say, okay, fine, sir, tell me how does it going to benefit the student of Emertxe, right? As I said, we are talking about two aspects of this webinar, right? The second aspect is about how it is going to, this is a link which you can click and then see the report which I'm talking about, right? So, what it means to you as an entry-level engineer. So, opportunity for you to build basically a great career beyond recession worries. As I said, recession, yes, recession is, I would say, already there. You don't need to worry, because these segments invest for long term. I was telling my friend, I was meeting my friend after a long time. He's been working in an electric vehicle company for the past 5 years. Okay? And guess what? Their electric bike is not even released to the market, because it takes easily 5 years to make a electric vehicle. It's not a joke. It's not, for example, an overnight I can come up with an app, right? And then I can launch it in a Play Store, right? Again, I'm not discounting the importance of app, right? So what I'm saying is this involves this type of hardware, software, and especially when you talk about electric vehicles, you need to do a lot of field testing, And you need to have a lot of other ecosystem where the battery management systems, charging stations coming into picture. I'll talk about it in my subsequent slides also, because we also see some of the peripheral companies, for example, the battery management companies, these type of charging station type of companies, even they're hiring our students, right? So that way these companies invest for long term, so you have an opportunity to build your career beyond the traditional recession worries. As I said, no, the software-based companies have got a larger swing, right? They can go up very fast. At the same time, they come down very fast. So that much amount of swing you will not see in a hardware-based or electronic-based company, because it takes time. I was telling an example of my friend, right? Almost 5 years, the product has not hit the market. They're still trying. Multiple prototypes are coming. They want to ensure the safety is non-compromisable item, etc., etc., right? And in case any company compromises on that and they release a product into the market, right? Some of the examples where the electric vehicle catching fire, etc., etc., right? So no company today wanted to take such risk and spoil their brand name, because quality is an epitome whatever we do today, right? And so there is a lot of long-term investment happening. And from our placement side, as I said, already, absolutely, nothing to worry. We are seeing, the momentum what happened in the year 2022, continues in the year 2023 also. So, we are not seeing anything. Yes, companies have become a little bit more choosy. They expect higher level of skill to be demonstrated by our students. That's why we use the word last sentence, you can see, right? You be optimistic but cautious. Okay. Yes, you don't need to feel doomed or feel worried or feel concerned that, oh, recession is there. You don't need to definitely do that. You can very well feel optimistic, but be cautious. Okay, the job market expectations is also going high, because the demand supply, if you look at it, the supply has become more than demand, right? So the company who is actually interviewing, they can be in the better place now. Unlike what was there in the just after COVID, right? There was a huge surge has happened in the job market where the supply was less and the demand was more. Now the things are reversed due to recession, right? So that's what it is. Other than that, the pretty much the momentum is in place, right? So, and if you look at people who are attending our webinar, any sort of webinar that we run, these two are the graphs that I run in every webinar that we do, because when it comes to placement data in Emertxe, it is pretty much transparent. Any point in time we show the graph. In fact, even if we go refer our past monthly webinar also, the same slide gets updated, right? If you see these blue color towers, we see 100+ companies are getting recruited every month. That was the situation that we had in the year 2022. And 2023 also, in fact, around December, January month, as a team, right? Even especially when a placement team, we are also a little bit worried, because there was a lot of news coming up saying that there is a recession, companies are not going to hire, etc. We were also a little bit concerned, but thankfully, as I said, some of the other reasons in the previous slides, these companies invest for long term, and they have a solid roadmap in place, so they continue to hire. We have 100+ companies coming in the month of Jan, Feb, March, April. You can see 105, 108, 112, 114. Basically, I'm talking about the the red color these things of these towers, right? You can see these numbers. And in the month of May, we already done 71 companies have already visited us. We still have another week to go. I'm pretty confident that we'll cross 100 this month as well. Okay, so it's busy time for a placement team. And the other slide also we show basically is about the number of drives. Okay, so when these many companies come, they also basically come and they seek students from our institution with a specific skill set, and we float an application with the students and they apply. Right, when they apply, they need to be given schedule for the interview or the written test. That's what we call drive. So what happens, as you already see, right? 100+ companies are coming, and scheduling them in the same month becomes quite challenging. So that's where sometimes you can see around 50 drives, 60 drives, 70 drives happen every month, and some of the applications which we floated gets moved on to the next month, etc., etc., right? So this is again a graph which we show right from the past 4 years, from the year 2020. It is a graph which I started showing, I would say, the first wave of pandemic in the year 2020. You can see, right, the month of April, March, April, it's a very, very bad situation. From then, 2021 was better, 22 was fantastic, and 23 is also doing, I would say, very good in terms of number of drives. If you see this month, we already done 50 drives. So when I say 50 drives, this is basically as of yesterday. I didn't take the today evening data, because every day the numbers get updated, right? This is the data as of yesterday evening, right? Today definitely some numbers would have got added. Okay, so definitely in terms of opportunity, there is no drift. This is point number one. Another also point which I want to stress before I move on to show some of the success stories of our recent batch students is to keep in mind that among all these companies which I spoke about, they come and recruit from us mainly because of this one simple word called as skill. Okay, because they get a skilled engineers, and this skill is hard to obtain in the market. So that's why they come and recruit from us, and they come and recruit from us on a regular basis. I would say, more than 80% of the recruiting companies are repeat recruiters. They don't come one time and stop, right? They come and recruit repeatedly. They recruit from students, right? So they primarily look for a specific set of skills, which probably, in Mubin section they will get covered what type of skills you learn in this course, etc. Which means to say your other factors, for example, well, some questions I think already come up in terms of year of pass out, right? Then second question will be coming in form of your, percentage, right? And other thing comes in form of your branch, right? So these factors take a backseat. Definitely your, skill and how you are able to demonstrate the skill in terms of projects is going to play a major role. In fact, that is going to be the major role, and we are seeing success stories from students recently. I'll just show you in a minute or so. So we are able to place students, in the last month from a 2014 pass out. I think we gone all the way up to 2007 or 2008 pass out also we are able to place. Okay. So those things are no longer a criteria, but when you show up for an interview, how well you are able to demonstrate your skill. So skill is the only criteria that they're looking for, and as long as you are able to demonstrate that, we don't have any problem. And they're able to emerge successfully. And we also see a lot of students coming from a career break. Career break happens because of many reasons. For example, they might have prepared for competitive exams, are prepared for exams like GATE, where they do not have come through, government exams, right? And girl students, they get married, they get relocated, they need to quit their jobs, then they get pregnant, they need to take a long break due to pregnancy, right? So these type of reasons result in them taking a longer career break, right? So we're able to skill them and then place them also. People who are coming after career break, that is a one very good segment that is growing, where people from older batch students are also able to get placed. Okay, so that's the second part which I wanted to cover. And now what we'll do is, like, let us take a look into some of the success stories. Last month or so I've taken some snapshot. As I said, if you want the complete data, go to a website or our or our social media. So let me just show you guys the recent success stories. Give me a minute. Let me open it for you guys. So typically I show success story in two categories. So one category, what I call is a fresher. So when I say fresher, these folks are typically from 2021 and 2022 pass out. Because 23, as I said, just finishing up their exams, or they're about to wind up their engineering, right? These folks are primarily from 2021 or 2022 batch pass outs, right? These people come, they take up our embedded systems course either in the online mode or in the offline mode, right? Okay, so and then they get into placements like this. As you can see, some of the recent success stories where a student Aparna, she got placed in the month of April with Infineon. Infineon, many of you know, it's one of the popular semiconductor companies with a salary of 10.5 LPA. Okay, and similarly, we have many success stories coming in the simulants. We have students like Rakesh who got placed with a company called Bot. As I said a few minutes I was talking about, right? When you talk about electric vehicle, yes, it takes a lot of embedded system to build it, but the vehicle alone is not enough. You need to have an entire ecosystem around that. This company Bot is building the entire charging stations, etc. In fact, one of our alumni is already working there as a senior engineer. He only reached out to us, and then he interviewed this student, and then he selected him, right? So we have those type of organizations hiring, very niche one. They're growing at a phenomenal pace, working on a very, very cutting edge technology. Then where me and Mubin come from, right? HP. HP is primarily this printing group. Where we work. Some of our ex-colleague hired this particular student, Pranil Shetty, who got 8 lakh salary with HP. And similarly, we have institution like Cone Cranes, for example, right? Cone, many of you would have seen in the crane whenever you're going for a lift or a cranes, right? So they make all these equipments. And then there are a lot of embedded system goes on that as well, where we have students like Nayana getting into Cone Cranes for a salary of 4.5 LPA. And then Cyient has been one of the big semiconductor and electronics company. I think they have a major branch in Hyderabad, apart from other offices. And Swaroop, who got placed recently with a 4.3 LPA salary. And LG has been a regular recruiter with us. I think, I don't know, probably for a year or so. Every month they come and hire our students, where they keep on recruiting them. Where we have students like Sharan Ratnakumar from Vimal Jyoti Engineering College, Kerala, getting into a salary package of 4.8 lakhs. Then we have another, as I was talking about, the embedded systems and the AI combination, right? For example, we talk about the computer vision I was telling, right? DVI is one of the company which is working on that, a combination of embedded systems and computer vision. AI is, vision-based AI, you can say, right? So you can see that Deep Vision Analytics is one of the niche companies which has hired our student, Vinay Kumar, and he for a salary package of 5 LPA. And then we have very traditional embedded systems companies like Mistral, who've been in this embedded field for a long period of time. Before even Linux came in, first company we used to use an operating system called VxWorks. In fact, Mistral used to be one of the distributors of that product, who came and recruited our students, right? Vasudev, for a 5 LPA, right? So these are the snapshots, where people who studied our course getting into all these type of companies, and these folks, as I said, they're from 2021 or 2022 pass out. Okay. By the way, we also have very good number of 2023 already joined us. In the month of, I think from January onward they have been joining to utilize their 8th semester, so that by the time they come out in the month of May, I think exams are getting over. They already finished 3-4 months with us or 5 months with us, right? In another month or two, when they finish their course, right, they're ahead of the job market, right? I already appreciated them for anyway, final year of engineering, nothing much happens apart from project and lightweight courses, etc. Right? So in the similar lines, we also have, I think there is small issue here. This should have come in the fresher category. I think I mistakenly put it here. I was telling about electric vehicle, right? Both the traditional companies just started their electric vehicle divisions like Mahindra Electric have been hiring. And we also have Ether Energy, which is again a modern day Ether, which makes the bikes, right? We have our student like Mayur, who are getting into a salary of 11 lakhs per annum. I think he's a 2021 grad. I should have shown in the previous category. Doesn't matter. Then if you look at the older batch students, from people from here are 2020 and above. 2018, 19, 18, 17 and above, right? 14 you can see all the way up, right? So these students come and join our course. I think students like Harshita joined us and got placed with Microchip. They pay again a 10 LPA salary, who got placed I think in the last month. Okay. Similarly, we have this particular MNC called Ingersoll Rand. I think 100-plus-year-old European company, and they also have an offshoot called I forgot Cranes or sorry, I forgot who even recruit our students, right? So they also hire our students. There you can see students like Srimati, who is a 2017 pass out, who come with a career break, are able to achieve a job with a company like Ingersoll Rand. And so as Ranjita, who is again a 2014 student. Imagine, right? Almost 9 years since she passed out, and she came and joined our course. And similar to Srimati, she was also get an offer from Ingersoll Rand for 7 LPA salary. Okay. Then we have students like Venkat Raman from Tamil Nadu, Kanchipuram. HL Mando Softech, who is again been regularly hiring our students, 2021 grad again for 5 LPA salary. Okay. And as I told, right, many students come after the career break. You can see a story of Yogesh, right? And then he, he was able to basically had a career break, and then you can see their company visiting Emertxe recognize the value of skills development, not year of pass, right? Which opens up so many opportunity for students like myself. So he was able to crack a job with LG for a 7.5 LPA salary, right? And then I also mentioned about career transition, right? Who are working somewhere and then they're able to get into embedded systems, and where students like Jafar Ali from Francis Xavier Engineering College, and he was able to start his career with a company called Agnikul, which is one of the space journey satellites or the rockets they're building based out of Chennai. They've been making a lot of waves in the media as well. Okay, so he got placed there. And we also have good number of students who come from academic background, who are assistant professors and associate professors who got into academia, but they want to come to the mainstream corporate job, where we have our student. I don't know whether you call him as a professor or a student. I would say student, since it is an Emertxe context, where we have something like Prakash R, who was a lecturer and he got placed into RAD systems, right? Like this, lot of career transition stories. They were doing something else and they moved on to something else, right? So the older era pass out, as I said, will come in multiple varieties. They had some experience, but they had a transition and they had a career break, right, due to many reasons, but still they're able to resume their career in the core domain. Okay, so these are some of the success stories which we want to show, which want to showcase. There are a lot of similar examples. As I said, it is just that I picked up something from our social media just to show you guys, just a small snapshot, right? But if you go and look into social media, we keep it published on a regular basis. Of course, our website also. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to cover in this segment. Okay, so I would like to pause here. I'm seeing a lot of questions have already come. Let me take some questions and then I will hand over to Mubin for the next section. Okay. Then we have many questions coming in. Saran says, I studied about industrial IoT. Yes, and I was already talking about that in terms of how an industry is getting digitally enabled. Okay? Or you can say industry 4.0 is all about IoT, right? Okay, that's what we talk about. Sorry. So then we have Avnish Dubey. Sorry. Can I get placement if I am BSc IT graduate once I join Emertxe? As of now, no, Avnish, because even though branch-wise companies are open to consider all the branches, but they still expect you to be a BE Tech graduates minimum or ME Tech. Okay. So for BSc graduates, we will not be able to give you placements. Let me be upfront with that. Then we have a question from Rutvik Tegi. When will the June batch start, sir? So typically, Rutvik, every month we start the batches. For the May month, I'll show the dates towards the end. For June also, typically you can assume in the last week of every month, right? I think for May we are starting next one in 26th, another 2-3 days down the line. Similar date you can assume in the month of June. Okay, so once this May batches are filled up, it's already getting filled very fast. Then our team will put up the June dates. Okay, so for assumption's sake, you can assume, right, June 25th, here and there, 2-3 days here and there, right? That's the idea. What's mean by April 2023 is that she's passed out of 2023. No, not that. So the month, whatever is mentioned here, is a month when they got placed. It's nothing to do with era pass out. Era pass out, as you can see, right, we have mentioned in the top, right? Okay. In fact, for 2023, the placement season is not yet open. We are just, students are completing their exams. All our recruiting companies expect students to complete minimum the engineering branch, right? Minimum engineering degree, sorry, right? So primarily we are still placing 2021, 22. That's why I call them as freshers, right? Okay. So this is a month when they got placed. Then there's a question: which one do you suggest, online or offline? I would go for online. Later you will see a lot of advantages in terms of online because it's cost effective. You don't need to travel to Bangalore. And it is very, in terms of effectiveness, it's the same as an offline course. So I would go for online. So what are the major pros and cons of online course? I think I already mentioned. I would say all pros. Okay, cons, of course, right? You cannot see people physically, like like how we are, right? But pretty much every session of us very much interactive, hands-on. Moving, we'll talk about it shortly, right? How we make our online course engaging, because it's quite challenging. Because at least in the classroom, we had, I think, about, I don't know how many of you there in the webinar as of now, around 112 people are in the webinar. I don't know what state of mind you are in, right? I cannot see you. In the physical class, of course, I can see if somebody is a little bit off, I can crack some jokes or I can ask them a question. That I cannot do in online. So definitely there are some challenges, but our mentors have, I would say, worked out quite well past 3 years, right? Where our online course is as effective as our offline course. From our side, there's no difference. Okay. Hope that's clear, Sashi Kumar. Then there's a question from Amani Singh Chabda is asking, freshers can also do advanced embedded systems course? Of course, yes. Okay, that's what I mean. All these guys, whatever I shown you, they're all freshers only. Okay. I registered for May 30th, says Bhushan. Great, good to know, Bhushan. Probably we'll meet again in the induction class also. Okay. So Sharon is asking, can we get a job in AMD, Intel, NVIDIA, and etc.? Of course, yes. Okay. In fact, our hunt is on to bring such companies for our placements. Intel came once, but our goal is to get even companies like AMD and NVIDIA to come and recruit from our institution. But yeah, good number of our alumni work there. Yeah, probably when they change the job, they go and work there. Yeah, we do have a lot of success stories. Okay. If I join online course, how will I work on hardware? Asked Chandrasekhar. Very good question. Just wait for a few minutes, Chandrasekhar. Mubin will explain that, the hardware change. Okay, hardware challenge. Then we have Apurva Kanaktala, right? I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So I did my BTech biotechnology. I am eligible for embedded systems. Yes, all the branches are eligible. There's no issue. Okay. Then Rajshekhar Reddy is asking, upcoming online evening batch start date. Give me some time, Rajshekhar. Towards the end, I have all the dates of the upcoming batches, or even if you can go to our website and see the schedule. Okay. Then we have a question from Satish Kumar Ramlingam. He says, how Matlab and Simulink different from embedded C? See, Matlab is more of simulation, right? You're not having any real hardware where you're running them. Whereas your embedded C is all about running in a real hardware, that too in a resource constrained hardware. So where you talk about optimization, how do you use various peripherals, right? So all those real logical and optimization aspects comes into picture. Whereas with Matlab and Simulink is all about simulation. Okay, so it's like range of difference between both of them. Okay. Will you be learning from the basics? Ask Rahul Bhatti. Yes, absolutely. Everything will be taught from the scratch, from level 0, because we know we have mixed set of audience who are in their 8th semester, who are just finishing their engineering, or who are working, right? We have mixed audience, but we ensure that we start everything from the scratch. Is placement same for online and offline batches? Yes, same. But one thing I just wanted to update you is that off late, see, from an opportunity standpoint, same. But off late, what we are seeing, the observation is that more companies are opting for an offline recruitment. Okay. So earlier, if you look at pandemic time, it was 100% online. There's no concept of going and attending a physical drive and other things, right? But due to many reasons, companies are also resumed their working from office, right? So good number of companies today are expecting you to come and attend the interview offline. Okay. So if you're an online student, what we are suggesting is, right, you may miss out few opportunities, because if you can travel to Bangalore, great. Okay. But if you cannot travel, for example, right, what we are suggesting them is you attend as many interviews online as possible. But once you're done with the course, right, maybe for a couple of months, come to Bangalore, so that those 2 months only focus on attending the offline drives. Okay. From our side, opportunity is same. But yeah, I just want to caution you, because I don't want to set wrong expectations, because later you guys will probably take this recording and so this is what Jaikumar sir told, but this is what is happening, right? You don't want to make any false commitment to any of you, right? But yeah, offline we are seeing that companies are preferring more offline based interviews. Okay. But yeah, opportunity wise it's same. Yeah. So Nagesh is asking, average how many students are for a batch and how many of them are getting placed? So we have a ratio of around 40 is our thumb rule, because we also want to give a good student versus mentor ratio, because if you make like say 100, 150 in a batch, right, the mentors will not be able to focus and students also will lose the interest. So 40:1 is the ratio, but few numbers here and there we just go up and down, but not much. Okay, they can just keep it as a 40:1. That's one number, right? How many of them get placed? Okay. Again, it depends on the students. Okay, because for us, very important part is to ensure that the students put efforts. Okay, we can bring companies, or we can have a very big mentoring team. By the way, we have about 50 full-time members are there. Ours is the largest mentoring team that you can see in any Ed-Tech company, especially if you look at embedded segment. Nobody can come even close to us, right? So we have 50 plus. So all the support system is available, but it all depends on how the student takes it, right? But as long as the students are following what we are saying and they're clearing the eligibility test, yes, we have 100% placement. Okay, let me repeat. As long as you follow the assignments and projects and be regular with your classes, and you need to clear the placement eligibility. And after you do the course, right, our mentors will put a filtering before you start applying for placements. If you clear it, 100% we have placement record. Okay, no doubt about it. Can you put light on the fee structure, says Amrish? So Amrish, regarding fees, our counseling team would be the right people to answer. So what I suggest is, towards the end, I'll share you their contact details, my email ID and phone number, or some of you are already, in touch with some of the counselors, because the fee structure is very different from online and offline, and time to time they also give some, discounts and scholarships. So better you talk to them. Okay, hope that's clear. Amrish. Is there no hiring for 2023 batch, sir? Okay, Vasanthi is telling. I would say it is not opened up yet. So please note, right, one important point 2023 guys notice, it is not like your campus placements, where in the third year itself they hire you and then they need to wait for 1 year and then they need to join. No. Okay. Anybody who they recruit now, the companies want you to join immediately. That's why I asked you the question, right? Like, how many of them got the offer letter but did not get the joining day, right? Here, all the companies want you to join immediately, except for some working professionals who got some notice period and all, right? Okay. So what I'm saying is, our 2023 students, they're either in their 8th semester and they're already doing the course. Plus, companies expect you to show up PDC, professional degree certificate, or some certificate as a proof that you indeed completed engineering, right? It's not like campus interview. But yeah, very shortly it'll be starting, and because we already have few hundreds of students who joined from 2023 batch in their 8th sem itself. Probably in another couple of weeks, they'll be done with their final exams. We'll open up for them also. Okay, hope that's clear. How to attend interviews if online course engaged? I think I already clarified. Okay, online interviews still do happen. Written test, interview. Our placement team will facilitate you where to take the test and interviews if it is online, when and where it's scheduled. So everything is very well streamlined. So you can very well attend the interviews from your comfort of your home or office. Then we have a question from Srinath Naik is asking, I am MCA graduate 2023 and BC Electronics in bachelor's degree is suitable for me. Similar to, as I said, BSc, Srinath, still companies are a little bit hesitant to consider the MCA graduates. Okay, they mainly consider the BTech and MTech. So I don't want to give a false promise. I don't think we'll be able to commit you with placements. Okay, MSc Electronics or MSc, yes, we are pushing. We are giving we are giving some commitment also, but MCA still not. Then we have Renuka Hajare. So do you teach about Linux kernel and Yocto Linux project? Oh, wow. Okay. So Linux and Yocto Linux, again, is a very broad topic. Linux, yes, definitely we teach, at 3 levels: Linux systems, Linux internals, and Linux, embedded Linux, where you'll get to know both about the user space and about a decent knowledge about the kernel. Okay. Again, put together, even if you say all the 3 modules that we're teaching put together, it will cover hardly 10% of the whole Linux, because Linux is an ocean and I can do a PhD in Linux, right? Yocto Linux project, no, because Yocto Linux is probably for people who are in an experienced category. So that module is not part of that. But yeah, you can still see that it is listed in our website, but the target audience are working professionals who already built embedded Linux. For example, they use tools like Buildroot and all, right? Which has been made more efficient and more more configurable and modular with the Yocto. So that's more of a next level knowledge, right? But here we teach things using Buildroot where you can customize the Linux kernel. Okay, that much amount of knowledge we give. But yeah, Yocto is not part of our curriculum. Then hope that's clear. Which course is best in embedded systems? I don't know what this question means. Ashok, can you be a little bit more clear, right? Is this course offered to MSc Electronics students? Yes, I think already clarified. MCA, no. BSc, no. MSc, yes. MSc students, this they can take and even they can obtain placements. Bhushan is asking, placement will be definitely sure, sir, after 4-month foundation module. Bhushan, the answer is it lies with you. Okay, we have, as I already shown you, all the data points possible, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not going to attend the interview, or Mubin is not going to attend the written test. You are going to attend the written test, right? So it is up to you. But what we'll assure you is a good quality education, excellent mentor support, excellent placement support. If you utilize them, follow what mentors are telling, things will happen. But again, some people don't follow, and for them it will not happen. As simple as that. That's what I tell, right? When I say 100%, it is for people who follow our system. There are some people who don't follow, right? If you don't follow, what I can do, right? They may attend a 20 interview, 30 interview, 50 interview, right? They still will not get selected. They think, right, just by magic I'll get selected. No, right? It purely depends on you. You are committed, you are willing to put effort. Yes, definitely the magic will happen. You can see, right? I'm showing you so much of success stories. And another one more point you need to observe when you're showing all the success stories of in the recent past. None of them are from so-called great engineering colleges. They all come from simple, humble background, studied in decent colleges, right? They all have this necessary motivation and then drive to succeed, and they follow. As simple as that. Then we have, Venkata Vasantu Sailaja. She's asking, I registered for embedded systems course will start from 30th 2023 batch. You are saying there is no hiring for 23 batch. Ayo, I think you are getting confused. Okay. All I'm saying is 2023 hiring will start now. Okay, 2023, you are not completed engineering only, how they can hire. And I already told you, the companies expect you to complete the engineering because they want you to join immediately. It's not like campus hiring. I think you are getting all jumbled up in your mind, right? Okay. So once you join, as I said, another week or two later, because we already have, few hundreds of students who join in their 8th semester. Further, we'll open up in a week or two. Okay. When you join, let us say you join this month end, right? You need to wait. You need to complete next 4 months. After that, you can. By then, it would have got opened up. Okay. We expect it to open up in another 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, I would say. Rutvik is telling, can we get a job if we have less than 60% in 12th? No problem, Rutvik. We have ample amount of success stories. You don't need to bother about that. Okay. So I think its time is running out. I think I'll pause here. Still, I'm seeing a lot of questions. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Thank you, guys. Oh, God. So many questions have come. I think in the interest of time, I'll pause here. Okay. Let me just note down from till which question I've answered. Give me a minute. Yeah. No. Okay. All right. Okay. Hope it makes sense. A lot of questions are there. Okay. I need to pause because I need to. It's already 8:15. I need to hand it over to Mubin. But I'll rest assured, we are not going to strictly say 9 o'clock will stop. You may see in our previous workshops also. Right? It goes beyond 9 o'clock. We'll ensure that your questions are answered. So that way, me and Mubin committed to answer your questions. My request is just pause. We'll come back and take. I noted down till which question we answered. We'll come back. Okay. So now what we will do, let me come to the next section, right? So the next section is about the course demo, where I would request Mubin to take over and explain the technical aspect of it. And third part, I'll come back and join, and we'll continue to discuss about placements and process of placements and answer your remaining questions. Okay, Mubin also will take questions. No worries. Mubin.
All right, so thanks Jay for giving the introduction about the course. So let me share my screen. Maybe you can make me the presenter.
Yeah, sure. So I'll go off the video, Mubin. I'll come back once you're done.
Okay. Hope you can see my screen, all of you.
Yeah, it's visible. For others, can you just confirm? Just a minute. Folks, are you able to see Mubin's screen? Let me see. Yes, Mubin. They're able to. Yeah. Please proceed. Yeah. Do you want to turn on your camera? I'll turn off mine.
Okay.
I'll come back later. Yeah.
So thank you everyone for patiently waiting and listening to us. And in this session, what I'll do is I'll briefly explain about how the training delivery will look like at a high level, and what the support mechanism we're going to provide and how we can avail the support mechanism, how we enable students to help them prepare for placements so that they can crack the interviews, and what other support streams we have, so that we can guide you and help you, basically coach you in the way you need to prepare as well as get selected. So if you look at our course curriculum, I'm not sure whether we have gone through the syllabus, what we have in our website. So if not, what you can do is you can search for Emertxe or ECP course syllabus, embedded system course syllabus, and you can download the course syllabus, which contains the details of the topics which you're going to cover in the course. So we have, like, for online course we have 7 subjects, and for the offline course we have 8 subjects. So you'll be learning subjects including Linux systems, C, C++ programming, data structures, microcontrollers, Linux internals, embedded Linux and ARM, as well as if it's an offline course, we'll be learning one additional module called as QT. So what will be the module? The methodology which we going to cover the topics is similar. Okay. So every module or subject comprises of class and a lab. So be it online or offline, on a daily basis, you'll have class and lab sessions. So class the idea of in the class, we are going to learn about the concepts or the topics which you're going to cover, and the class mentor will explain the topics by using examples. Whereas in the lab, we will focus more on the application of whatever concepts you learn. That means you have to work on assignments and projects. So whatever help is needed for you to get started with assignments and project will be explained in the lab sessions. So on a daily basis, you have to attend class and lab, wherein the class will cover the concepts and the lab will cover the application part of it, wherein you have to work on the assignments and the projects. So lab mentors will explain the assignment requirement and the project requirements. After the class and lab, you have to independently work on the assignments and submit them. Okay, this is very, very important. So it's not just about attending the class and just understanding theoretical things. So most of us are used to it, right, in the college, wherein we attend lectures. Maybe at a theory level, we understand the concept, but at the practical level, we're not able to apply. That means we have not fully understand the usage of the concepts. So it's very, very important to work on the assignments. Every module will have assignments, and these assignments will be graded, right? So you know where you stand in terms of your performance. Similar projects are kind of mini projects. So every core module like C, data structures, microcontrollers, and Linux internals, we encourage you to do 2 projects. So after completing the course, at a minimum level, you have to have 8 projects in your resume minimum. We can do more. So some people do more also. So to test your knowledge, we conduct objective test and programming test as well as module test. Okay, so this will be given on a regular basis just to see your understanding level. So these things overall will help you to learn in a better way, and when you're completing the modules, you'll get the confidence, yes, I am better compared to where I was initially. Similarly, like when you are attending class and lab, you can definitely ask doubts and you can get support from the mentors. But very important is that when you're working independently, you should be able to seek help. So how do you seek help? There are different channels. So you can reach out to the mentors using WhatsApp group. You can reach out to the mentors in the lab during the lab sessions or in the class sessions. You can also reach out to them via discussion forum, which is available in our LMS. So I'll show you how you can get the support using the support channels. So idea is that if you're getting stuck, don't wait. Just post the doubt in the WhatsApp group. Our mentors are there, or other students are there who will help you in basically clarifying your doubts. So we have very good support mechanism. So what about placement preparation? So it's important that you focus on completing the modules, complete all the tasks. But for placement preparation, we have some additional prep activities. So we conduct placement preparation test. We conduct mock interviews. So many a time students say that I don't know, this is my first interview, how do you face it, etc. Right? Before going for the real interview, we'll conduct mock interviews wherein we'll check your communication skills, we'll check your technical skills and give you appropriate feedback. So you also have a huge database of company specific questions. So whenever a company comes, any company comes, we will share you the previous interview questions so that you can prepare. So we have dedicated interview prep sessions so that before going for the interviews, we'll prepare you and it will help you to crack the interviews. Every company which you are going to attend the interviews, you also create a WhatsApp group, so facilitate better communication. Our placement team will be part of the WhatsApp group, wherein they'll be sharing the schedule, they'll be sharing what you need to prepare on. After completing the interview, also many of the questions share the interview experience so that others who are going to attend the interview can be well prepared. So we have a dedicated placement team who looks after the placement activities. So you'll be meeting them once you enroll the course as well. As apart from the technical team and placement related activities, which is driven by the placement team, we have a student success team. So who will be closely monitoring your performance, and they will also guide you if you need any help in terms of basically how to basically manage your timings and how you should prepare for the interviews, and if you're facing any challenges with respect to the class and lab, you can reach out to them. Okay, so regular feedback will be given to you based upon your performance so that you can work accordingly. Okay, so they will also help you in counseling activities as well. So overall, we have a very good structure in terms of how we are delivering the course. We have good support mechanism, support ecosystem. We also have placement related activities which we plan so that you can crack the interviews as well. Now, all these things, whatever you're going to learn, will be driven through a learning management system, okay, called as LMS. Okay, so whenever you are enrolled for the course, all the students will get access to the course related resources in our web portal. So this is an example of a login for a student who is enrolled for the course. So any student who is enrolled for the course will get access to the course materials. So we have like different modules, advanced C, C++ module, right? Data structures, Linux internals, Linux systems. These are several basically modules which will be enrolled. So this particular student has completed most of the modules, and even he got placed in some company. So I just wanted to show you what all resources you have access to. Okay, and let's say take the module advanced. So this guy has completed the course, 100% completed. So every module will have several components or categories. So we'll have attendance, right? Everything is basically graded. So attendance will be taken. So we know how much percentage of class you're attending or lab you're attending, right? Assignments are given to you. We'll have quizzes or tests will be there, right? We have other resources like slides, code, etc. is also available. Apart from that, you can also give feedback related to the course, and you can also discuss your doubts or queries. You can post in the discussion forum. So in terms of course resources, for example, you have access to the slides and you have access to the code also, code which you are explaining in the class, etc. So our slides are very much detailed. Okay, so it's a reference materials. For example, this is the first chapter. You can see it's 120 slides, right? So you can go through the training materials so that you can refer, you can study, explanation is given. Okay, this will help you to learn in the offline basically time, not during the class hours. Right? So one material is course related to resources, slides, code, etc. You can access. Okay, then project information you can also see, project related description, etc. You can also find out. Right? Some videos are also available with respect to the project explanation. Apart from that, we will give you tasks like assignments. So in terms of assignments, to check your help you build your problem solving skills or programming skills, they'll give you some programs. Initially, you'll have to work on small programs like things like checking if the number is even or odd. And as and when basically time passes, you'll have to work on more complex assignments. So don't worry, we'll be there to guide you. Okay, so that you can work on these assignments and you can build confidence and you can become a good programmer, embedded developer. Okay, that's the whole idea. These assignments are automatically evaluated. That means the problem statement is given, right? Some description is given about the problem statement. You can submit the assignment and the assignment will be automatically evaluated. You don't have to wait for the mentor to manually grade the assignments. So apart from assignments, you'll be given quizzes. Okay, you can see here. So this particular student's already completed the quizzes. Some objective test will be there. Some subjective test will be there, etc. So this will help you to check your knowledge in terms of your understanding, right? So you can see this is how a quiz interface looks like. Some questions are given, right? You have to MCQ based questions will be there, filling the blanks type questions will be there. So we have designed the course and the content in such a way that by completing the course, you will become a very good embedded developer. That's the whole idea. So please understand our focus is on learning, right? You have to learn, you have to build your skills. So whatever is required in the industry, we are going to teach you. So if you do a course, you're going to get a very good learning experience. You learn a lot. You'll be at a different level after completing the course. Eventually, you'll get a job. That's the whole idea. Yes, it's not just about learning. You should be able to get a job in a very good company. Okay. So apart from test, as I told you, you can access the resources, and there's a discussion forum, right? So you can ask questions in the discussion forum as well. So that's about the learning management system. Okay, so you can also check your grades, your performance, etc. You can check, right? So you can see how you stand in terms of your performance. It will help you to monitor where you stand overall with respect to the module. So this particular student has scored a grade of 81%. So other than this, what you will get access to is that if it's like online batch, you'll get access to recorded videos also, right? So course recordings like class and lab recordings also will be given to you. So if you take only off the online batch, you'll get class and lab recordings. If it's offline batch, you're not going to get the recordings because you're attending the class face to face. All right. So let me now give you a sample of how the actual class gets delivered. Okay, so many of them ask, how does the online class get delivered? So I'll show you two sample videos with respect to two different courses, C programming and microcontroller. So I'll share you a sample video of how the C programming module is delivered for the topic arrays. After that, I'll share another video wherein you can see how the microcontroller module is getting delivered in the online mode using a simulator. So I'll start the video recording now. You can just have a look.
These are the total memory allocated. Now, after an array has been declared, maybe I want to give the values into the array, because just the array's declaration will have garbage value. Assume I take int array of size 5. Okay, there has to be 20 bytes of memory allocated. Assume this is the 20 bytes of memory allocated for the array. So I'm storing 5 integers. So each integer takes how many bytes? Each integer takes how many bytes? Allocated for the array. So I'm storing 5 integers. The array. So I'm storing 5 integers. So each integer takes how many
Look like
bytes?
there is some issue
Each
for playing the
integer
video.
takes how
Let me
many
try
bytes?
again.
Correct. So each integer takes 4 bytes. So if the starting address of these are the total memory allocated. Now, after an array has been declared, maybe I want to give the values into the array, because just the array's declaration will have garbage value. Assume I take int array of size 5. Okay, there has to be 20 bytes of memory allocated. Assume this is the 20 bytes of memory allocated for the array. So I'm storing 5 integers. So each integer takes how many bytes? Each integer takes how many bytes? Correct. So each integer takes 4 bytes. So if the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? If the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? Assume this is 1000. Where will be the next element present? Yes. Each of the element uses 4 bytes. So it is 1004, then 1008, 1012, 1016. To access the array's element, you have to go with something called as the index number. An index number varies between 0 to size minus 1. So very first element will be in index 0, second element will be in index 1, third element will be in index 2, fourth element will be in index 3, and fifth element will be in index 4. Okay. If you just declare the array like this, the array's element will have garbage value by default. So in order to not have a garbage value present inside the memory block, maybe I want certain values to mate sit inside it. In such cases, I have to do the array's initialization. To initialize the array, here inside the curly braces, I have to give 5 elements: 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. In that case, that value will be written here. That will be 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, this is how I declare the array. This is how I do the initialization, and this is how the memory for the array will be allocated. Accessing happens with respect to the index number varying between 0 to size minus 1. See here, data type, name, size, where size represents the number of elements. So the total memory occupied by the array is number of elements multiplied by size of an element. That is in turn size into size of the data type. If this is the array I'm going to take of 5 size with the values 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, this will be the array. So the very starting address of the array always is called as the base address of the array. This address 1000 will always be called as the base address of the array, or you can also call it as starting address or address of the very first element of the array. All of them means the same, but we usually refer it as base address. Okay, you can call it as base address, or you can call it as the starting address, or you also can call it as the address of first element. Okay, the starting address is called as the base address or starting address or address of the first element of the array. So then it is plus 4, plus 8, plus 12, plus 16. Index has to vary between 0 to size minus 1. So it has to be starting from 0. An array is a collection of similar data type. Elements occupy consecutive memory locations. First element will be in the lowest address and last element will be in the highest address. Elements are indexed from 0 to size minus 1. So if the size of the array is 5, index will vary from 0 to 4. Accessing out of the range array elements would be an illegal access. So whenever you have to access the elements of the array, you have to go with the name of the array, then the index number. Okay, So array of 0, array of 1, like this, you have to go with the index number. So if the index number varies between 0 to 4, I can access only between array of 0 to array of 4. Out of the boundary, that is accessing array of -1 or accessing array of 5 is not allowed. It is an illegal access where you might get to see a error. So accessing out of the range array elements would be illegal access. You should not access the elements in array of -1 and array of size. And once the memory for the array is allocated, it can never be altered in the runtime. That is, while executing the program, the array size can never be modified. So if you declare an array like this, it will be 20 bytes of memory allocated for sure. So this size can never be altered throughout the program. Again, here in double denum of size 6, there will be 48 continuous bytes already allocated. You never get a chance to increase or decrease the size once it has been allocated. So this is the concept of array. Clear this much? Okay. So have this one noted. The next we will see is how to print the elements of the array. Okay. So there are different ways of printing the array's element, which we will be seeing shortly. Before that, have this one noted. So the next we have got is to print the array's element. So when you are supposed to print the array's element, we usually go with the name of the array and the index number. But that has to be done on a repetitive manner. So what is it necessary to be used? What is it necessary to be used if I have to print? Yes, loop is definitely necessary. So I can print the array's element in any of a loop considered. Observe. Okay. So first I try printing it in a for loop. Int array of size 5. I also do the initialization with 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. I need another integer variable I for the sake of index. So I will first say it as printf arrays elements are. Okay. So I run a for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than 5 and I plus plus, because 5 is the size of the array. Inside this, I go with the printf. Sorry. Yeah, so printf %d \n comma array's name with index. Okay, so first array of 0 will be printed when I will have a 0 taken, then array of 1, then array of 2, array of 3, array of 4. When I becomes 5, 5 lesser than 5 will be condition false. You come out of the for loop. Observe the output here. So I'm compiling and executing. These are the arrays element which I am printing using a for loop. Let me change this. I try printing using a while.
This was a sample video of how an online class is delivered for a topic in C. So we had specifically made this video a short video. But don't worry about it. In general, the topics will be covered in detail, and anybody attending the class online should be able to easily understand the concepts and learn things without any difficulty. Now, next video I'm going to show is with respect to the microcontroller module. So have a look at this video, how the microcontroller module is covered in the online mode by using a simulator called as PicSimLab.
This conference will now be recorded. Hello everyone. In today's class, let's see how we can write an embedded program to toggle the LEDs connected to the board bit. So now to write the embedded program, we are going to use the tool MPLAB XID. So you can see here. So this is the MPLAB XID. If you open this, you will see this as a starting page. So some projects are mentioned here, data sheet is available here. Even if you worked on some recent project, that list is available. See, and even you will get the microchip login. So if you have a login ID password, you do the login, and you can do the purchase on a microchip website, right? Okay, so now let me go back to the question. So question was, we wanted to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. So now here in this MPLAB ID, you can see these are the different tools available. So we can use these tools as per the requirement. For example, this is to create a new file. It's to create a new project. It is to open the project. It's this option is to do the build. You can see different many options are there. So as per the need, what we will do, we will take an approach. Whatever we need it, we will start using those things. Now here in this MPLAB XID, I already created a project and kept it ready. So project name is what? LEDs. So in this project, I created. So when this project is created, this MPLAB XID create some organized sections. You can see here. So now to write this program, to write the embedded code, we need a main.c. So generally .c files goes here in this source file sections, header files goes here, make file will go here, linker script will go to this section. Or if you need any libraries, if you are planning to add any libraries, then those goes into this section. And finally, this is the place for your executable file. So let me go to the main.c. So you can double click and open the main.c in the editor window. So now you can see I'm defining two macros. So instead of using port D directly, so what I did, since if you see the hardware on the hardware, so you are having total 16 LEDs. So this is the PiximLab simulator board. So it's having total 16 LEDs. So currently we are going to toggle LEDs connected to the port D. These are the these are the 8 LEDs out of 16. So these 8 LED array we are going to toggle. Toggling means on off we are going to do. So now since I'm having 8 LEDs, I'm defining the micro LED array as a port D, and to give the direction to the port pins there is a register trace D. I'm defining that with name LED array data direction register. Now you can see here comes my main. So here I'm calling init config function. So this function is to do the initialization. So what we are doing, so in main itself, we are not doing initialization. It doesn't look good. So there is a separate dedicated function to do the initialization. It is init config. So control will go here and here in this init config. So initially what we are doing, if we are using LED, we need to set the pin direction as output. So I'm writing my LED array data direction register as a 0. It will set port D pin as the output, and to start with initially I will keep all LEDs connected to the port D as a off. So to turn off the LED, I need to load 0. So I'm writing here 0. So LEDs remain off, fine. And here comes our while one. So if you see any embedded system, once you turn on the embedded system, it runs forever, right? It goes into infinite loop. So here come my infinite loop while one. So inside this while one, we are going to write our application. So what is our application? We wanted to toggle the LED. So here is my instruction to toggle the LED. So I'm writing LED array equal to tilt of LED array. So what it will do, it will toggle the values of this LED array. If it is 0, it will make it 1. If it is 1, it will make it 0. So now you can see. So this is what 0x00. So after execution of this instruction, this LED array value becomes 0xFF. So entire port becomes 0xFF. All port bits become 1. So all LED turn on. LEDs are going to be turned on, And here what I'm doing, so before going to this instruction, once again I'm putting the delay. So if this delay is not there, what happens? We will not be able to see the LED toggling. So it will happen at very faster rate. Due to the persistence of vision, we will not be able to capture it. So I added the delay. Then after this delay, what happened? Next time, since we are in the while one, control will go back here. So again, we are changing the LED array value from what? FF to 0. So now what happened? LED become off, then again delay. So like this way, we are making LEDs on, LEDs off. Fine. Now. So we have to build the code, we have to compile the code. How we can do? So here in this mplab xid I install x8 compiler, so that's why this header file is also included related to the compiler. So now how you can do the build? So you can see here is one option to do the build. So let me click on that. It will start doing build. My project is getting a build. Now you can see build is going on, so it will take some time, please wait. Now see, build is successful. That means your hex file is created, and even it will give you the memory summary of your project. So now my hex file is created and it is loaded also. Now what we can do? So we can load that hex file where? In this board. So we can run that hex file here in this microcontroller. So this is the heart of this board. So basically here we are using PIC16F877A microcontroller. So we are going to load the hex file here. How? So you can go to the file, you can select the load hex. You have to navigate wherever your project is stored. So let me navigate. So now, just for the sake of simplicity, I kept the project on the desktop. So let me select that. Now again, you have to go to the distribute directory. So basically, you have to use this path. After build successful, it is prompting the path where X file is available. I'm just referring that. Then you have to go to the default production. Here is the X file. Let me open. Okay, expected output is what? These LEDs should toggle, but it's not happening. Why? Because these DIP switch related settings are not done. So to turn on the LEDs connected to the port D, this DIP switch, second one, you have to pull this switch up. So let me do that. So it's down, you have to pull it up. So let me select. Now you can see the change here. So what this program is doing, it's running in this microcontroller and it is toggling the LEDs, and even we are able to see that toggling very clearly, right? Okay, so this is our program, our embedded.
All right, so this was a quick demo of how we can build a microcontroller program, which is a simple program wherein we are blinking a set of LEDs. So this video demonstrates that we can use an ID like MPLAB ID, which is from Microchip, to write the C program, embedded C program actually, and you can run the C program using a simulator. You can see here there is a simulator called as PIC-SimLab, and this simulator works exactly the same as a real hardware. So it doesn't matter whether you're using a real hardware or a simulator. You can run the same program on the simulator, you can run the same program on the actual hardware, you get the same output with minimal changes. So hope you got an idea of how the online classes are delivered for a microcontroller like module, wherein you can use a simulator to run the microcontroller based application. Now what I'll do is I will just share you how you can seek support from the mentors. So let me share my screen. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there are multiple support channels available. So we have a support channel using the discussion forum in our LMS. So you can see here students are posting questions related to the subject and they are asking some doubts. So one student asks some specific doubts, another student is responding. Even our mentors will also respond to the queries. So we have a very good support channel where you can ask your questions and other students who are part of your batch will answer. So that's called social learning, and similarly our mentors will be there to respond to your queries. So apart from discussion forum, you can also get support from the WhatsApp groups. So if you look at my WhatsApp, right? So I'm enrolled to many of the courses. So there are many batches which are currently ongoing, right? So you can see there are like mentors interacting with the students. There are some videos posted, right? For example, that's a video recording of one of the webinars we conducted recently. Similarly, you can also see expectations, some sample output of chessboard code, etc. So students can ask questions in the WhatsApp group, right? A lot of people are there, they're asking doubts. Okay, so you can ask your questions, ask your doubts in the WhatsApp group, and you can get support from the WhatsApp channels. Okay. So apart from basically WhatsApp groups for every batch, we also conduct WhatsApp group for placement drives. For example, if I just search for a company like LG, you can see LG has visited our campus multiple times, and whenever LG visits our campus, we create a WhatsApp, right? So we also create like different WhatsApp groups to different companies. So idea of creating this WhatsApp group is to effectively communicate with the students regarding the schedule, regarding the progress, regarding updates, etc. So companies will be conducting placement drives, and we'll keep you posted regarding the progress of the interviews as well. So just pin down 3 groups recently which we created. For example, LG Soft, you can see, right? So here you can see some congratulations message. Some 2 students got praised recently, right? You can see what is the kind of message we are exchanging here, right? So there's a lot of congratulations message. Then you can see the questions are also shared, right? These are the questions asked so that other students can also prepare, right? So questions are also shared, and schedule, who's selected, right, etc. is also informed. So the WhatsApp group will help you to like get updates, help you to prepare well. So this is LG. Similarly, we have recently Chelsea, another company who hired one of the candidates, right? Sharing the feedback. Questions are also shared. What kind of questions has been asked so that you can prepare. Yes. Similarly, we have Continental. Recently, few students got placed, right? You can see a lot of congratulations messages. Name the students got placed, right? And so on. So you can also see other updates, right? What kind of questions they're asking. You can see some students are sharing, right? Detailed, they're sharing what kind of questions. So please understand that whatever topics, whatever questions they're asking, most of the things we have covered in our course. So you don't have to worry. So if you study and to join the course and study the concepts clearly, and clearing an interview is not a big deal, right? So that's all from my side. If you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to ask. Okay. So Jay, over to you. You can check if students have asked any questions.
All right. So let me come back to the screen. Hope I am audible. Am I audible? Just quickly, can just confirm. Okay, all right. So welcome back, guys. Hope Mubin's session gave you a good idea about how the course is getting delivered, especially on the online mode. How the class, how the lab, how do we basically access the hardware? How do we get support for the placements? And how the placement team and the technical team works very closely to keep them in sync with respect to the shortlisting, etc., preparation. So that way we have the internal systems in place to ensure that as a student, right, you get that maximum benefit of this opportunity. As I said, there are a lot of opportunities now available. We want to ensure that how do we capitalize this opportunity. Okay. So let me check any questions that Mubin can take it up. Let me see, otherwise I can take. Okay. So there are some questions like Damodar is asking, Qualcomm, AMD, etc. are chip design companies. What roles do firmware engineers do these, or does Emertxe cover those? Right. Good question. So as I already mentioned in my section of presentation, hardware is like a body, and the software is like oxygen. Right. No matter if you look at the semiconductor companies, they manufacture chipsets. Which can be used in any particular domain, for example, automotive, electric vehicle, etc. Which is nothing but the core processor which drives that mobile phones, like for example, companies like Qualcomm, right? And they also come up with a reference hardware reference platform where they'll be able to demonstrate all the use cases. For example, you are part of a next semiconductor, but you are building a particular automotive board which can be used by, let us say, a car manufacturer, could be Mercedes-Benz or anybody. Or similarly, if you're a Qualcomm, you are making a chipset which can be utilized by a phone manufacturer like a Samsung, right? So in those reference board, whenever you are talking about the entire chipset, the hardware tape-out process, the chip and the board process, right? So you definitely need a firmware in it. For example, to start with, there's a low-level driver that gets into picture, which uses what you call signs of life, which brings up the various peripherals, and then it gives you the life. Or what you call it as a primitive code or a boot code, right? Then subsequently all these interfaces should perform required functionality. So that where whether that can have a OS based software, like you port a Linux or Android in it, or you may run it as a simple while loop with a microcontroller based system, right? So definitely firmware engineers have got a lot role to play in an embedded systems or in the semiconductor companies to build those use cases, to build those initial set of drivers, etc. Then subsequently, when these whatever the boards and reference platforms, when it moves to the actual manufacturer, actual designers, right? For example, imagine, right, the Qualcomm reference board is bought out by Samsung. Then they come up with their own hardware. Then again, there's a customization comes into picture, right? Wherever the hardware goes to customization, the software has to go through customization. So there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of roles for the firmware engineers to play. Be it a low-level firmware engineer developing a middleware, porting an OS in it, or customizing an OS for a particular hardware, porting an application from one platform to another platform, developing an UI part of it. Testing is a significant role in embedded system, etc. So that way, there's a huge lot of role that embedded engineers play. Okay. So Damodar, hope that clarifies your question. And Vignesh is asking how to go hardware job by taking course in Emertxe. See, our course is not a hardware based course, Vignesh, right? Ours is a embedded software course, or the embedded firmware, which I mentioned, in my answer, my previous question to Damodar, right? So we will help you how to utilize the hardware and make a programming, whatever the simulator that Mubin has demonstrated, right? But we will not be teaching you how to design a board, how to come up with a, how to basically design a chip, etc. Because that's a altogether a different beast. So even though on our practical terms we use this word, VLSI and embedded systems in conjunction, right? How we use AA and MR in conjunction, right? So VLSI and embedded systems are way apart. They're significantly different from each other. So don't get confused. Our course prepares you for the jobs which are more of embedded software in nature, which you call it as a firmware or embedded software, core software, whatever you can call. Hope that's clear, Vignesh. Okay. Then there is one. Let me question. Let me see more questions. Let me take a few questions here. Did you provide recording videos after the completion of the class? Yes, every class that's get recorded, as I mentioned, even this webinar gets recorded, already getting recorded. You will get the recorded version in a few days. So like that, every class or every lab is getting recorded, and that recorded session will be uploaded in the learning management system or LMS. So you'll be able to access from that. Typically it takes 24 to 48 hours to get it uploaded, so that is used as a backup. Please note that it's not a substitution. Many students call us, ask us, I don't want to attend the live class, I want only watch the recorded class. Then they defeat the purpose, right? The purpose of the live class is to make it interactive, create a sense of collaborative learning environment, etc., which will be lost when you're listening to the recorded video. You may as well watch a YouTube, right? Or you may as well watch any other Udemy, right? Why? What differentiation we bring it, right? So that is given as a backup in case, let us say, there is a network issue or you want to revise a particular concept, right, before coming to the next class. It is given as an additional resource for you. Okay, but that is not a substitute. Okay, please ensure you attend all the live classes. Okay. I think there is a question from Chandrasekhar, how the lab can be done. I think we already discussed. Okay. Let me go up. There are some question. Let me see some more questions. It's already 9. Anyways, not an issue. We stay back and answer. So Sundaresh is asking questions, sir, whether we can attend many company after we got placed. No. From Emertxe, you can attend many companies in parallel. That's quite normal among students, right? So there are 3 companies, you can attend all the 3 companies. But once you get a first offer, you need to take it up. So we don't have an idea of multiple job offers. Right? That mainly because of 2 reasons. One is basically we commit 100% joining rate to the recruiting companies. Suppose they come and recruit 10 students, we commit them, they'll join. That's point number 1. Point number 2, we want to ensure that all of you get 1 job. I don't want a scenario where one student get 3 jobs and another student doesn't go with any job, right? We don't want a scenario. So because of these reasons, you can attend as many as you want, but the moment the first offer comes through, you have to take it. But you have the freedom, right? Which company to apply, which company not to apply, you have the freedom. But once you apply, the offer comes through, you need to take, right? Then you cannot say, sir, when higher salary company is coming next, I want to apply, right? Our placement team immediately will inform all the clients that you are no longer available. Wherever first you're getting, you'll be blocked there. Okay, you need to join the company. So then there's a question from Satish. Working in core industries with 9 years of experience in dimensional activities, good to change a career. Again, it depends, Satish, what type of a career that you have been part of and where you want to make a career shift. It would be good if you can add a little bit more detail about your background so that we'll be able to suggest you. Okay? Because, yeah, we do have students, who come from, 5+, 6+ years of experience. They're able to get a career break into embedded. It depends on where you come from and where you want to go. Okay. It'll be good if you can add a little bit more details about your profile. For May 30th batch, when the placement is going to happen. Okay, so May 30th means you are about to join, I guess, right? So what happens is, Sharon, when students join the course, you need to complete the minimum set of modules, 1, and then you need to complete, clear the placement eligibility test. So that happens after the 4th month. Let us say you join in the month of May 30th. So let us say, June you start, right? June, July, August, September, right? Here and there, give 1 more month. Around September is when you can expect your placement eligibility to come through. After that, you can start applying for placements. You can continue attending the remaining modules and then also apply for companies. Okay, hope that's clear. Then we have Bala Manikanta again asking, can we change online to offline course after a couple of months? You can, but generally we don't recommend, because whatever the mode of delivery you get used to, right, don't change it. Otherwise, it will affect your learning flow. As Movin has already mentioned, one of the reasons why we demonstrate this particular webinar is that our online courses are as effective as our offline courses. So generally, you will not have any problem, but we recommend that you stick to the whatever the learning mode that you basically take it up, whether it's online or offline. But yeah, we do allow you switching between online to offline. Then we have Naveen. I'm a Java developer at Accenture earning 10.5 LPA. I just want to shift to course set, but my major concern is my package. Can I demand according to my current pack or at least near to it at 9 lakh? Will my current experience help me to get into core? I think that's a very good question. There are two aspects to this question. One is about the domain change and another is about the salary part, right? So first, let me answer the domain side, right? When you are working as a Java developer, when you're working as, let us say, I don't know how many years you've been working. Let us assume 6 years or 7 years, whatever, right? When you take up this particular course, so definitely, when you work on the projects, whatever is given as a part of this course, so definitely you will be able to make a career transition into the core. Okay, that is point number 1. There's no doubt about it. There are tons of people who are doing that, not only from Java background. We have people who work in the service companies, teaching background I showed, right, in the example what I showed today in the beginning of the webinar, right? So various set of profile people who make the career transition. That's point number 1. Point number 2, coming to the salary. Okay, yes, it's very fair from your perspective, right? When you make a career shift, at least you expect, whatever you are drawing or more than that, right? Okay, that I would say depends on the company. Okay, some companies do consider your previous experience because they don't want you to, just get a cheaper bargain, saying that, oh, you are looking for this particular situation, let me take advantage out of it, right? So most of the companies won't do. They do give value to our experience. In fact, you see, right, some of the students when they get placed in company like even Ingersoll Rand, some goes at 5.5 lakhs, some at 7 lakhs, right? You may see the number variation. It is because highly likely that the previous experience got weightage. Okay? So companies do consider previous experience, but how they consider current salary, okay, it depends on them. Okay, but as long as you are able to demonstrate the embedded skills experience, right, your probability of getting that existing salary or exceeding that salary is high. Okay, so focus on the course, demonstrate the skill set, because that's going to be the selling point. It's not that, for example, I come from a Java developer for 5 years. That's no longer a selling point, right? Rather, what you do in a course is going to matter a lot. If you focus on that, there's a highly probability that you may able to get a higher package. But as I said, it depends on the company. Okay? But most of them achieve that. Okay? As per our experience goes, this company don't want you to join a demotivated mode, right? They want to pay you well and then take you for the new role. Then we have Prajwal. Is embedded system student getting more placement than embedded IoT student in our organization? That's a very interesting question. Right? We get this particular question every time, right? See, we also offer this embedded IoT course due to some or the other reason, right? If you look at the skill set point of view, right? I would say that our IoT courses got a much better skill set because they learn about Python, they learn about integrating with the cloud, etc. In terms of opportunity, I would say, right, they both get a similar opportunity, right? And when you look at the resume, the IoT student's resume looks better, according to me, because the skill set is better, right? Okay, so that way I don't see there is, because more students take embedded course, it looks like more students are getting placed. But yeah, our IoT students are also getting placed very much. Okay, in fact, I would say our IoT students are hot cakes as soon as they complete the core modules, right? They get get placed faster than our embedded students. But unfortunately, the number is less. If you look at our social media, right, you need a lot of embedded, you will see less of IoT, right? But that doesn't undermine the merit of IoT. It is because less number of students take it, right? We also try to educate. We also try to call out the IoT course, how different it is from embedded course. But yeah, in terms of skill set wise and also placement wise, I would say our IoT course is better. Okay? So I don't see any issues in that context as well. Then we have Manoj from high-level college, top colleges. They get very good placements. Then there are one who are jobless will come to institutes. Yes, that's a irony of our country, where you see in the newspaper saying that one so-called student getting 80 lakh salary, 70 lakh salary, 1 crore salary as a fresher, right? And we have lakhs and lakhs of graduates that are getting jobless. If you remember the beginning of the presentation, I said, right, the mission of Emertxe is to solve that particular challenge. Okay, due to whatsoever the reason, the engineering colleges mushroom, right? More private players came into picture. If you look at us, in India itself, there are roughly around 4,000 engineering colleges here and there. Exact numbers I don't remember. Around 3,500, 400 is a ballpark number. And and if you look at the situation, right, pretty much the way of education is theoretical, and there is no proper practical training that happens in the engineering college. That's a core reason which I'm trying to address, so that it is not that only from the top-notch so-called Ivy League college students aspire for something big. Even students from a tier 2, tier 3 college or tier 2, tier 2 city can also aspire and dream big. So that's a motivation that we all have, and to be very practical, right? In the recent years, if you see, our students are no less. Okay, just because somebody got a good rank in their NIT or IIT ranking, right? As I mentioned initially, I come from NIT, right? 20 years later, when I look back, right, I have way more students who come from tier 2, tier 3 college who are doing much better than me. Okay, and so forth, right? So just because somebody got a good rank in their engineering at the 17 or 18 years of age doesn't guarantee a lifelong success. So it's all about continuous learning, and then hard work and dedication is what makes people successful. So that's a success story we believe in, and that's what drives us every day. Now, how can we make a tier 2, tier 3 student aspire for these core jobs, and then aspire for a higher salaries? That's what it is. Hope that's clear, Manoj. Good question. I'm from another state. Is your team guide us about PG near your institute? Yes, Once you get in touch with your admission team and you take admission, our team will give you the nearby. Our office is in MG Road. That's pretty much center of the city. And then from nearby we have the list of PGs which we have shortlisted. Where good, you can basically go and visit those places. Whichever is suitable, you can take. We just want to help you and facilitate that purpose. Right? So then in your website, there is an advanced embedded systems course and embedded course online. What is the difference? See, advanced embedded course is nothing but our offline course. Okay. Online course is online course. Maybe the terminology is a little misleading. Let me check what the difference are, right? Online is the mode of delivery. Advanced system is pretty much what we do in the offline mode. I would put it like that. Okay, I think we answered good number of questions. I see the syllabus I have compared with other institute for maturity. I thought it will be very short. Can you explain how will you be teaching us? I think Mubin's session would have answered us how it has been taught. Bhushan. How much minimum B.Tech percentage to join embedded? So ideally, we recommend you have at least 60%. A first-class engineering degree would help, but that is not mandatory. Okay, because good number of students are hiring, companies are hiring less than 60% also. Okay, I hope that's fine. Tamil Selvan Tyagarajan is asking, then for arts and science students, there's no way to get the job in recruitment. As of now, yes. Okay. As I mentioned, right, we don't want to make any false promises. Okay, but we don't want to stamp people, saying that, hey, you're an arts and science, you cannot get into. But this is a mandate from the companies as of now. So a few years back, there was also a challenge with respect to branches. They say, no, only we allow circuit branches like electrical and electronics. But later point in time, it got changed. Good number of our companies open up for all the branches, right? Similarly, we hope, whether somebody is from arts, because you see a lot of newspaper, media information also there. Companies consider skill rather than what the qualification that you come from, right? So we try to push basically we are able to see some breakthrough off late with MSc electronics or MSc students, right? But still arts and science, the BScs and MCA still not, flying much with respect to placements, right? Hope it will happen in the future. But from our side, we don't want to give you false commitments. That's why we've been upfront. What we can do, we'll do. What we cannot do also, we'll do. Right? Hope that's clear. Tamil Selvan. It's a question from Rahul Bhatti. Currently, I'm working at the Flipkart supply chain. So how could I be able to come to Bangalore for attending offline interviews as companies are preferring offline, right? So two things, Rahul, right? Not all the companies are recruiting on offline. Okay, I would say, good chunk, as I said, that the percentage is increasing. If you look at pandemic, right, 100 and 0. Then I would say 90% online and 10% offline. The percentage is now steadily increasing and the online is steadily decreasing because every company pretty much got used to the offline way of working. And one of the major problems, more than whether online or offline, it is very unfortunate to say in a webinar, is that the online mode of entry also given chance to lot of malpractices from the candidates, because we hear directly from the companies. We have seen situations where instead of Jaikumar, maybe Mubin will attend my interview, right? He will answer my questions, right? Or during the written test, right? The people use various techniques to copy the answers, etc., irrespective of all the things that has been done. Or somebody, when the question is asked, somebody is sitting there and then giving me an answer. So all those malpractices is making the companies to revert back to the offline mode of interview. So what I suggest is, it is not that the online interviews have become zero. No, definitely not the case. I don't know the latest numbers, but I don't know, maybe 60% online, 40% offline, or 70% online, or 30% online. You can think something like that. Still, online is predominant, I would say. So you can definitely, look into those opportunities, right? But let us say still, in spite of you getting into those opportunities, you are not able to crack the interviews, right? Then what I suggest is, then you come to Bangalore, making some way. That I would suggest how you will be able to come. Supply chain, I don't know where you work out of. If you're working out of Bangalore, you can very well make it, or you need to come to physically to Bangalore, so that you can also take opportunity, missing whatever you're missing, the 30%, 40%, you'll be able to take advantage of that also. That's what we are recommending to students in the recent batches, because we are seeing the trend, right? Yeah. But still online is still a good chunk happens in online. And there's a question from Janmay Trivedi. He's asking, so I graduated EC 2022 and I also work on PIC controller, embedded system design, but due to financial issue, I joined IT as a Python developer as it offered me good package. but my interest is embedded system, field tech, nature, embedded will be very bright in India. Can you please suggest me, should I take the risk to career transition embedded? Why not? Right? Definitely you should attempt. But as I said, right, you should not quit your job. Okay, that's where the evening course comes into picture. I think I shown you good amount of success stories where students from an application side have transitioned over to the course side. It is very well possible. Somebody, jumped with the same salary. Somebody even jumped with the higher salary. Even the salary question was there previously. It is very well possible. Okay, so go for it. Then there's a question from Ravi again. Sir, in case not placed in judgment and then allowing the students to drive. So our placements will be coming for 2 years, right? From the time you complete your course, we'll give you unlimited placement opportunity for 2 years from the time you complete your course. So very well, you can attend your placements after you complete the course also, no problem. Okay. So then there's a question from Nagesh. Why only working with Linux instead of any other software like Windows, etc.? What is the future scope of embedded system with Linux, right? So Linux is the obvious choice for embedded system, Nagesh, due to many reasons. Okay, some of them include, for example, it is open source, it is customizable, it is free, it is secure, right? There are many reasons why Linux is the #1 operating system when it comes to embedded systems, right? That much I would say, because if I explain that, it's already 9:50. I can talk about 1 hour about the same topic, right? But today, if you look at even your Android phones are fundamentally Linux, right? Linux is, I would say, #1 operating system when it comes to embedded system. Many reasons are there. Our course will definitely, tell you the answer why it is. Right? Mechanical student can join this course, asking, Yattapu Udayakala. Yes, you can. As I said, all the branch students can join the course. Pretty much I answered all. Yeah, I think I answered all the questions. Okay. So there are a couple of ones that we'll take and we'll see. I think in another 10 minutes we'll try to wind up, because I don't want to leave you without answering questions, right? As I mentioned. So Renuka is asking, so Alu sir, I have 1 year of experience as a C developer, currently join as an embedded developer working in IoT domain. So I need hardware class first. Is it possible to get microcontroller class first? See, Renuka, our modules are structured. It goes in a particular logical order. Okay. But if you want, because for one student we cannot alter, right? As I said, for our mentors have got a flow and methodology, and how they need to deliver. Okay. So they go as per that particular flow only. For one student, we cannot zigzag alter the flow. Okay. So that's what I would say. We cannot start for one student. Okay. That should be my answer, right? Pula Lakshmi is asking, can you provide answer to my question? Pula Lakshmi, can you just put your question once again? Probably, I missed your question. Okay. I thought I answered all the questions. Upcoming evening batch starts, says asked Rajshekhar. Give me a few minutes, Rajshekhar. We have few slides left. I know I'll just show you, and then we'll move towards the end of the presentation. All right, guys. So I hope I have answered all the questions. In case one or two are missed, I try to scroll all the questions. And in case I missed, I just went till where the last question was left. I went till there. In case if I missed, just copy paste your question once again. Okay. Yeah. Pula Lakshmi is asking when the course will be started, and after starting the course, when the placements are taken. Okay. I think dates I'll give you when the next set of batches are taken, starting. And in terms of placement, I already mentioned after your 4th month, right? After your 4th month, once you finish your placement eligibility test and you clear it, you will start the placements. And your placements will happen up to 2 years from the time of you complete the course. I hope that's clear, Pula Lakshmi. Providing Linux certification. I don't know what you mean by Linux. Are you referring to Linux certification? Naveen, are you writing LAUNEX? Are you referring to Linux? We don't provide any Linux certification. We provide an overall course certification. That's what I mean. Okay. So we provide an embedded systems engineer certificate. I'll just show you. Give me a minute. I'll show you the, I'll show you the course certification. Give me a minute. So let me get back few slides. Let me quickly run through. I know it's already 9:20. So all these slides have been done by me. Arias explained it. From slide. So as I said, right, we spoke about the, Still questions are coming, no worries. I'll still take it up towards the end, right? We'll run through few more slides, then I'll take some questions again. So, hope we cleared all as of now. Some are still coming. Okay, please come, keep coming. I think I'm seeing Kanda Vergu, Vishnuvardhan, Rahul Bhati, Saran, they're all asking questions. Please keep coming. Please keep them typing. I'll come to that. Right? So this is how the process works. Once you join the course, you all will be added to a Google group. Then you need to clear the placement eligibility test. After the 4th month, once you complete your data structures module, for example, you start with Linux systems, then C, C++ module, then data structures module. The 4 modules you need to complete. And after the 4th module gets over, then our mentors will be conducting a placement eligibility process or the placement eligibility test, whatever you can call it, right? That test will consist of multiple components. It will have a set of series of C programming tests, and it will also have a mock interview. Okay. So once they complete that, they'll consider the mock interview performance, and they consider your C programming test performance, and so far how you are done in terms of your attendance and your project assignment completion. Considering these 3 criteria, let me repeat, from the beginning how you have been performing in the course, how you're performing in the specific placement eligibility test which was conducted towards after the 4th month, after you complete the data structures module, and then they'll also do a mock interview. So combination of these 3 things, the technical team, our mentors team, our Mubin's team, right, they will give a go ahead saying that a particular students have cleared the placement eligibility or not. Right? Then only the placement team will further process the application. So there are chances that the students may not be able to clear the test, right, or they fail in the mock interview. There's a process where they can reappear. How often they can reappear, how many times you're allowed to reappear. We have a huge document to show, 2-page document. If I show you now, it will again take half an hour. But that document also will circulate after people join the course, right? Every month I run through that in the monthly meeting just to ensure that people are clear, right? So that's what happens in the placement eligibility test, right? I think Rahul Bhati and Saran, hope that's clear. Okay. Then Vishnuvardhan is asking, sir, how will I contact you for doubts, because it's an online, that too, and live session? I think so. If you have any doubts regarding course, how will I reach out? So I suggest, Vishnuvardhan, you reach out to a team of counselors first. Okay. They will be the first line of defense or first line of people who answer the students' questions. I'll share their common email ID and phone number. It should get answered to them because we have pretty much seasoned and expert set of technical career counselors who have been counseling students over the years. It should get clarified. But if you still have any questions which you want me or to Mubin answer, they will route it to us. Okay, we will be able to clarify you later over a phone or or if you want to come face to face or something like that, they will decide. But as far as my concern, as far as my knowledge, 99.9%, they will be able to clarify. So your student counselors will be the best people to answer your questions, for all any. Okay. But yeah, we will pitch in wherever it is required. So this is how it works. Then you apply for the placements, then you basically, the whatever Mubin has demonstrated, the company shortlisting. And here 2 scenarios happen. One scenario is basically you get placed before the course gets over. So that's when you immediately leave the course because the companies expect you to join immediately, and then you go ahead and join the company. So the pending modules, whatever you have, you need to basically come back. We give you an opportunity to complete in the evening batch time. There's no fees or anything like that. You will be shifted to evening batch, so you can continue the pending modules in the online evening batch, and then you can complete. Okay. And there is another scenario where you completed the course, you got the certification, but you were not able to basically got the job, right? So that's when you continue to apply, until you get placed for a duration of 2 years. So that's pretty much what happens in the placement process, right? And a lot of FAQs we answered. So let me quickly show you a couple of screens, the Google group and then the NSG certification. Let me unshare my desktop and open it up for you guys. Still questions are coming. Please keep them coming. No issues. All right. So let me show you guys a couple of things now. One is a certificate which you will get after the course, primarily the Skill India certification part. PDF. So this is certification. So after you complete the course, right? At least the Skill India expects you need to complete all the modules before you apply for the certification. So after that, you need to appear for a test with the Skill India. You can see here. So the panel will come. And this will be an online evaluation process. We schedule it on a Saturday, so that by the time this happens, most of the students would have been placed, right? So taking time off becomes difficult. So we, ensure that it is conducted in an online mode, and that on a Saturday. So you have to keep, almost like, 2/3 of the day, morning 10 o'clock to maybe 3-4 o'clock, where there'll be a written test in the morning, and in the afternoon there'll be a Viva OC. So once you successfully clear, this certificate will be awarded by Skill India. As you can see there, it comes from Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. All the three logos, the Skill India logo, NSDC logo, and ESSA logo is also there. So plus we'll add our Emertxe, logo, or rather seal and sign here. Then according to the NSDC, this should be given in a hard copy format, not in the soft copy. So we'll be taking the laminated copy, and then we'll be sending us by post. Or if you're in Bangalore, you can come to collect or come to a center and collect it also. You can do that. So this is as far as the certification is concerned, the NSDC certification. But of course, we also give Emertxe certificate. People who want to get, you can apply and then get Emertxe certificate as well. Okay. And this is basically the Google group, which Mubin has kind of touched upon how the placement discussion happened. But before that, this is where our placement team, floats the application. You can see here every day. Every day can see today. Let us see, May 24th. You see how many mails were there. Every day there'll be 3, 4, 5 mails. You can see today 1, 2, 3, 4. Today how many companies came? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 companies have come today, and there's been some Continental. Some student is got placed. And let us say this company, Netradine, let us open the latest application. So everything will be given to you. This group again not for everybody. After you become part of it, this is open for, I would say, most of the courses, most of the companies are open for both our embedded students and IoT students, because there was a questions about the IoT versus embedded students, right? So here you can see all the eligibility criteria, the this thing, right? What will be the salary, then what will be the application form, etc. So everything will be clearly mentioned here. You can see, right, every day. And then when the shortlisting happens, and after the shortlisting happens, basically those students will use the WhatsApp chat for communicating. You can see L&T, LG, there have been some selecting things, and then monthly placement meeting we done. So entire communication happens via this particular group. So every day you can see around 4, 5, 3, whatever numbers keep coming on a very daily basis. Okay, so this is the Google group part of it. We're kind of towards the end of the presentation now. So student asked me about the course dates. So these are all the dates for the month of May. So that is May 26th. We are starting an online course. May 30th, we are starting an offline course. And June 3rd, we are starting the online evening course. So those are the dates. These dates are, already, I would say, the admissions are filling fast. You can get in touch with the counselors and block your seat. And the next month also the dates will be similar nature, in case if you want to come and join next batch or any other month. The dates will be similar there. Last week, 1 or 2 days here and there, Saturday, Sunday, some holidays we adjust. But pretty much, the last week of every month is where the batches are planned. And these are the coordinates of our counseling team, training@emertxe.com and 809-555-7332. You can either call them or you can email them with your queries. Or some of you, as I said, you're already in touch with our counselors. But unfortunately, the challenge our counselors face is, they only have a limited time over phone, or even if you come, they, primarily able to spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever they can do. I know they do a very good job. But, this webinar is more of a grouping everybody, right? And then meeting for this 2.5 hours. That's what we do on a monthly basis, so that, we broadly address that, all the questions that has been asked, right? And you can see that questions come from all the directions. And then, we also share the recorded video, so that if somebody wants to look into the thing offline, they can also look into it, right? So that's pretty much what I have. Let me say a few more questions, or the last few. Let us take, and then we will wind up. What is the placement eligibility test? I think Sharon, I clarified enough. Okay. Compared to online mode, offline mode have got extra module QT programming in the schedule. Why it is like that? Is there any impact on placement or any other parameters? As asked Nagesh. So Nagesh, yeah, it's a good question. See, what we found was, QT, the last module, which you find one module extra in our offline batch, right, or physical batch. it is about developing a UI framework for embedded systems. So that's where the Qt is used for. Right? So what we found was, keeping the attention span of students in online mode is very challenging. I hope all of you would agree, right? So what we tell, if you put the Qt, also the course getting even more longer. Okay, that's the reason why we said, for offline, and also we need to give some differentiation between online and offline. Right? That's why we kept it. Okay? This will not have any impact on placements. Okay? The Qt is a nice to have, good to have module. You don't know Qt company will reject or not, right? They don't, it will not have any impact, but it's good to have because good number of companies are adapting Qt for their embedded system UI development and all. That's the only, it's more of an additional skill set that will not have any impact on placements. Okay, hope that's clear, Nagesh. Is there any eligibility criteria for placement? Sharan, I told you, right? I explained almost so long. I think you're asking the same question. Maybe you repeatedly typed. Then we have Mary Shalini. Saturday is working day for an offline batch. Whether offline or online, Saturday is working day for us. Okay. Classes will be there. Labs are, examinations will be there. Typically, Saturdays are also used for exams, mock interviews, etc. Mentors will use for that. But yeah, classes, labs do happen. Okay. So online, offline, please assume you are going to be with us for 6 days a week. Okay. It depends on one's interest, but in your perspective, which course would have better opportunities, embedded and IoT? I already told you people, okay, IoT, given the skill set, has got a bright future. I already called out IoT as one of the most hot verticals, right? Yes, in terms of skill set, yes, great. Naveen is asking me, the regular course timings. My shift is from 2 to 10. I hope it's from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So I suggest, Naveen, you talk to our team of counsel because multiple batches run in multiple timelines. Okay, that too is a crunch time. A lot of admissions are happening. I suggest you talk to our counselors and check the timing which works out for you. Because I don't want to commit anything which is incorrect. I hope you're getting my point, right? Because some classes happen in the morning. Looks like your morning batch will be suitable to you, but I'm not sure, whether that time the seats are available or you're looking for an offline course or online course. I suggest you talk to your team of counselors, the number whichever I mentioned already. Same, Ashok is also timings. Timings, you please talk to a team of counselors. Because the timings of online versus offline is very different, right? Online, it's still okay, we can accommodate people, but offline, once the classroom fills, right, we need to give you a different slot. Okay, some students will give a little, sometimes they will disappoint, sir, I want to come in the morning, I didn't get a slot and all, right? So that's why I'm telling you, I'm not the right person. Our team of counsel will be the people to talk about the timings, which slot is this, it's present and where the seats are available. You can check with them. Okay, that's pretty much what we have, and this is where we are. In case if you're in Bangalore, we are based out of MG Road, and we have another extended office where I work from, near to MG Road only. It's called Infantry Road. I sit in that office where some of our team members work. Predominantly, our action happens in MG Road because we ran out of space. We are here. I'm here, and we are active in both Insta and LinkedIn. Are you following us in any one of the channels? Yes, no. Can I get some response? Are you already following us in any of the channels? It's dinner time, is it? Okay, people are a little hungry, I guess. Okay, so in case if you're not, please do follow us. Emertxe IT is the handle, both LinkedIn and Instagram. We regularly keep posting things to get an update. One more question. So Nagesh is asking, in the course where we have C, C++, DSA throughout this, can you attend any other software company to apply placements? I don't know why you want to do that. If you study C, C++ and DSA, right? Why you want to attend for any software companies, right? So that is like a core programming thing which you need any software, right? It's embedded or even we are I talked about full stack web development. Even the full stack development also instead of C, C++, we have JavaScript and DSA, right? That's like a foundation. Any software you want, right? You need to know that, right? But if you studied C, C++ and DSA combination, why you want to go to application side, right? I suggest you come to the core side only. Okay. If you want to apply, go ahead and apply. We don't have any problem. But generally, if you ask me, Nagesh, all the students come to us with the expectation of the fact that they want to come to core companies. And 100 of companies, 100 companies which are hiring from us, they're hiring for the core companies only, right? Core companies hire our students. So from that perspective, I tell the C, C++ or DSA combination, better go for core companies. If you want to go for a general software company, probably you choose, let us say, Python or JavaScript plus DSA. Okay, I would suggest that. How can I get the recorded link, sir? Ask Rahul. Rahul, don't worry. Your email ID is already with us. Our team will edit this. They'll, in the initial time, we're waiting and all that. They'll cut these things. They'll make little bit arrangements. They will send it to you. Give some time, and early next week it should reach you. They will email you, right? Then the link will be there in YouTube also. You can also check. You just type Emertxe in the YouTube. You can check that also. But their email will reach you. Don't worry. Then Gautam is asking course fee, how much, sir? Please send course curriculum, sir, and eligibility, any degree, sir, career game, age, with coding knowledge. Gautam, we explained everything. Okay, still I answer your question, right? I would say regarding the fees, please talk to our counselor. Okay, is it free or paid one? Fulla Lakshmi, you expect us to give a placements for free, right? In this world, everybody wants free. Okay. I also need to eat three times a day. Or my team need to eat. How this program can be done for free? Please, I have some mercy on this. It's very much a paid program. Jokes apart, right? So it's very much a paid program, right? 6 months program. So please talk to our team of counselors. Gautam, you also eligibility. I already mentioned. I think you joined late. You're repeatedly asking the same question, right? I already clarified. Please watch out the initial section about this thing. Age limiting. I don't think there is any age limit. Coding knowledge is not required. Okay, everything is starting from the scratch, right? And then subsequently you can learn, okay, in a very systematic and a step-by-step manner. We don't expect you to come with the coding knowledge. So that's pretty much it. So I would like to say welcome to the world of embedded systems. Welcome to the core industry. I think we covered quite a broad set of topics, starting from the job market trends, and then Mubin discussed about our course delivery model, and then we came back and spoke about placements. And as I told in the beginning, the silver bullet goes like this, right? You are the best judge for your career, right? Okay. Whatever the information you have shared so far, we sincerely believe it is helpful to you, but you are the best person to make a decision. Okay, neither me nor Mubin or any of you will come and tell you do this or don't do this, right? So whatever the information you have shared, go through it. As I said, the recorded video will be shared to you, and make the right decision for your career. Don't take shortcuts. Do something and again after 1.5 2 years you need to come back, right? So from that perspective, embedded offers really long-term, good career opportunities. So I would recommend you do that. But at the end of the day, you are the boss, right? Who can take the decision on your career. Okay? Whatever may be the choice you make, right? From on behalf of Team Emertxe, I want to wish you all the very best, right? And I want to thank for you attending. I mean, it's like almost like today we overshot the time by 40 minutes, right? It's not easy to sit on a Wednesday night till 9:40 and attend. Good. Still, you could see about 50 of you are still active in the webinar window, right? It's not easy. So thank you very much for your patience. I sincerely hope it answered. As I said, whatever you decision make, wish you all the best. And I want to thank all of you and also thank my team who worked in the back end to make this webinar happen, and even the post-webinar actions, right? Editing this video, sending to you, right? I want to thank all my team members. And this webinar will be happening every month. You can even still want to come and attend one more time, or you want to have some more questions, ask us face to face. You can come and attend. Okay. So thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Can I get some quick feedback? Right? How did you find the webinar? Thank you, sir. I'm getting a lot of thank yous is coming. Ritvik, Janmay Trivedi, Balamani Kanta. How did you find this webinar? Was it useful? Did it help you to get a better clarity? Can I get some quick feedback? It's late. Nevertheless, I want to hear from you before we close. A lot of thank you messages coming. All right. Okay. So thank you very much for all of you. Wish you all the best. Our team will reach out to you with the recorded videos. Okay. Until then, take care. Bye.